Hey everyone, so I think we're live now. Welcome back. So today I'm here with Ian Miles Cheong, and we're gonna talk a little about the experience of leaving. Oh, now we have an echo. Hold on, sorry
Sorry.
about that. We're gonna talk about leaving SJWism or whatever you want to call it, since you have some experience in that department. I thought that'd be a
Yeah.
interesting um, story. So you want to tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, sure. I mean, where to start? I mean, I think most people
I guess
know
I
me.
guess you
No?
should say what you do now first, so we have some.
Oh, yeah. Have some context as to who I am, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, you've probably read my articles, and wow, it's so egotistical to say that. But I write for Heatstreet. I'm one of their writers. I write about culture, politics, entertainment, video games, you name it.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that's what I do for them.
I've certainly seen you around on Heath Street along a lot of times before I got to know you. So
Hmm. Yeah.
that's interesting. And how long you been working for Heath Street?
Almost a year now. I think I started around last July or so. Yeah,
Right. So you're well settled in there.
yeah, pretty much.
Cool. So anyway, yeah, let's get back to the topic at hand. So in the beginning, you're a hardcore SJW.
Oh yeah, big time. I mean, hardcore doesn't even cut it. There's hardcore, and then there's like inner circle SJW.
Yeah. Were
I
you
was
ever
inner circle.
were you in on those mailing lists and all that stuff?
Not the Game Journal Pros. I wasn't part of that one, but I was part of the Crash Override. If any of you recall, it was Zoe Quinn's anti-harassment organization. I was
Mhm.
part of that. Yeah, since the start. It was
Right.
in December of 2014. Yeah,
Hmm.
sometime around then. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's so Zoe Quinn. How did you meet her?
I knew her for many years. Well, not many years, but I mean, I was a game journalist, and she was in my circle of friends, right? So I'd been an acquaintance of hers for quite some time, maybe a couple of years, 3 years, 4 years. She was just part of the game journalist slash indie developer group, and that's how I knew her. And when I saw the whole Gamergate thing happen, naturally I gravitated towards her side. I had already been, an SJW at that point. I was drinking all the Kool-Aid.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So how come you ended up there? How do you become an SJW?
Wow. It's there are a variety of reasons why a person would become an SJW, but for me, it was because everyone else in the game journalist sphere was an SJW. I mean, everybody was liberal, progressive, not just liberal, right? I've always been somewhat liberal, but they're progressives. They're pushing social justice. They're pushing for diversity and all that stuff.
Hmm.
And everybody else was doing it. So I mean, if your friends are doing it, so are you. And anyone I noticed, who spoke out against the group tends to be ostracized. And now I would sometimes, there was this one instance where I kind of spoke out about they said that BioShock was racist.
Hmm.
And I was like, no, it's not. BioShock Infinite isn't racist, and I got dogpiled for it. But so that was one of my first bad experiences with them. But apart from that, it was essentially just a group of friends, or whether not a group of friends, but like a community, right, of sorts that shared the same views, same ideals. And
Right.
yeah,
So would it be fair to say that it's almost impossible to be a journalist without being an SJW in the mainstream?
I would say it's almost impossible. Yeah, I mean, if you want to get anywhere in the industry, and I'm not talking about myself here, but in general, right? You have to be friends with these people because they only hire each other.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah. So
Yeah.
anyone who has a wrong idea or doesn't really speak up, they tend not to be liked. That no one accepts them into the group.
Right. Because obviously now you have a work with another publication that is more accepting, but in most I guess in most outlets, it would be very hard to resist.
Yeah, especially like, I mean, I can see, New York Times or Washington Post not requiring this sort of thing because people there tend to be from diverse backgrounds. As much as Trump would say, "Oh, this is the fake news liberal media" or something, right? I don't really notice that. I do know some conservative columnists and so on, so I don't think it's that bad with mainstream journalism.
Hmm.
But with game journalism, it's especially cancerous. All
Right,
the big sites, all the main ones are run by SJWs.
right,
Polygon, Kotaku, Game Informer, PC Gamer. So as soon as you speak out, as soon as you have a different opinion or you dare to express it, you're going to be one of the bad guys. People are
right,
going to think less of you and even shun you. For example, if you're an established editor, it's probably not much of a problem. You could probably give an interview with someone with conservative views like Brad Wardell, and they could say bad things about you, but they wouldn't really be able to do anything because you already have a job. But if you're a freelancer, that's going to be difficult because they will
right.
look at your past work and see that, oh, I don't like your politics, so therefore I'm not going to hire you.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I see. I got a super chat there. So thanks, Phil Ferris, for that. He says hi to you too. Anyway, why do you think it is that gaming is so infested with SJWs in particular?
In particular, I don't think it's just gaming. I think it's every form of new media. I think I see this a lot in comic books. I see it a lot in science fiction and fantasy. I see it a lot in tabletop games, like Dungeons and Dragons. TSR is completely filled with these social justice warriors. I even know a few of them.
Hmm.
And the reason why I think that they're particularly drawn to it is, I mean, naturally they're geeks, right?
Right.
So, and they all go to colleges and stuff, and so they see video games as an avenue to promote their ideology, their politics, right?
Mhm.
And video games are a medium, and many of them, I'm not saying all of them, but many of them have this belief that they can use video games as a way to communicate to the public and to essentially indoctrinate the public with their ideas, right? Because the medium is in the massage, as they say, right?
Mhm.
Or message. So that's why the reason why it's particularly susceptible compared to, say, old media, which would be movies or music. The reason why is because there's no established old guard in video games. So
Right.
it's very easy for them to just get in, whether through friends or they just get in somehow, right? And they push their ideology onto people that way. Like,
Right. It's just interesting, though, how they've managed to even push it onto established media. I mean, look at Hollywood right now.
there is an extent of it. Yeah. I mean, yeah,
How
you
did
do
that
see it.
happen?
Yeah, I mean, Hollywood is old school sexist, right? Many of them are still very, very old school. I mean, I'm talking about actual sexism here.
Hmm.
So I think with Hollywood there is a certain backlash against the sexism of the 80s and the 90s, or
Right.
even the 70s. So the people who are new, like the indie scene, that's how they get in, right? That's how they got in through video games. Is they did it through the indie scene, because most people who work at all these established video game companies, they're not going to buy it, right? They've been making games for decades, so they don't care. They just want to make a product that sells very well. And I know a lot of game developers, they're not SJWs. They don't like them, but they won't say it publicly because they know the
Yeah,
games
yeah.
will be destroyed, right, publicly. So
Yeah.
they don't speak up.
Isn't that interesting, though, how they seem more concerned about the image than the sales? How does that work for a commercial company?
It doesn't, as you can see with Mass Effect Andromeda, they prioritize their image, putting ugly characters in, randomly putting a transgender character, which wasn't well received by the LGBT community because they knew it was shoehorned in.
Right.
And it doesn't really work out very well, I mean, like, there are instances where a game might jive well with SJWs, like say Horizon Zero Dawn or Life is Strange, but I don't think those games were especially geared towards them. Like a lot of people accuse these games of pandering. Oh, it's got a female character, therefore it's pandering. But I mean, I've played them, and I'm not an SJW anymore, and I don't think there's any sort of social justice message in them anyway.
No,
there
obviously, just because there's a female protagonist, but it doesn't mean that it's pandering. I mean, fucking hell, look at movies. Aliens is probably my favorite movie of all time, and it's got a female lead. I got no problem with that if it's well written and there's a point to it, and why not? That doesn't bother me at all.
No,
it's just like you say, when they shoehorn stuff in there.
Yeah, like take Wonder Woman, great movie. Everybody likes it. Even people who hate SJWs like it because there's no social justice message in it. It's just a cool character. She happens to be female. They tell a good story.
Right. I haven't.
And that's all it is.
I haven't seen it, but that fills me with confidence. I'm going to have to see that.
Yeah.
that's cool. So you recommend it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. This whole Lacey Green thing. How about that, huh?
Oh yeah, that came out of nowhere. Yeah.
And I think I told you this before, but I think Lacey Green should talk to you since you've actually done this before.
I'd be open to it. I welcome it. I haven't reached out to her yet, but I would definitely like to talk to her. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been following a little bit of the drama on Twitter, and it's like, oh my God, if we should talk about our side, we might do some videos and poke some fun and call someone a moron, but we go through each sentence and we respond, and that's it. But these people go out of their way to actually hunt down people. And shove it in their face. I never go to fucking Twitter to hunt down people and just to tell them to die or something. It's like,
I know they make it so personal.
It's like you call us harassers, really?
Yeah, but they're the ones doxing her, right? I mean, they actually doxed her. Yeah.
They doxed her. They hound her. Not with any sort of criticism, just to tell her she's an awful person and please die and shit.
And you see articles about her in her relationship with Chris Ray Gunn, and Vox.com is writing about it, and they call him a white supremacist and alt-right or something. And like, really, this guy's Puerto Rican.
I know. I mean, they should fucking work on their insults. That's what they should do, because it's like, they're using it all wrong. It's like someone walking up to me and saying, "Hey, nigger." Like,
right.
I understand that you're trying to insult me, but
it's not going to work.
No, that you could call me a cracker. I guess that would be a little bit more insulting, right?
Yeah.
But if you're going to walk up to someone who's not a white supremacist and call them a white supremacist, then like, okay, you're just wrong. You used the wrong word right now.
I know. They use it on Chris Ray Gunn. They use it on Bunty. They use it on John Jafari. And it's like, wait, hold on. None of these people are white. Like, you've got a Hispanic guy, you got a Sikh, and you have an Iranian,
It's fucking hilarious. I don't understand it. I mean, they probably call you alt-right and me alt-right or whatever.
Oh, yeah, all the time. I'm supposedly a Nazi and I'm alt-right or something. And, like, I've said nothing in recent years that is even remotely like that, Like, since we're talking about, me and my past, there are some chat logs from, like, 2000 where I said Heil Hitler or something, right? And that was like a chat room. Everybody was calling me a chink, and everybody was fucking edgy as hell. I hated those people, right? And I said the same things, right? And of course, everything is screen capped out of context, so it looks like I'm promoting Nazism or something, and it's ridiculous.
Of course,
and that's what they go for. Yeah, it's almost 20 years old, and they just can't get over it. And the funny thing is, when Gamergate was going on, some people in Gamergate used that against me, right? That's how they found the logs. And at the time, all the SJWs who I was friends with, they knew those logs were, they understood the context of it, right?
Right.
And they would defend me for it because I was one of them. I was one of their megaphones, if you want to call it that.
Mm-hmm.
But now, since I've supposedly switched sides, they use it against me, and they act like all the stuff that they believed never happened. It's like
right.
mental gymnastics. Jesus.
That is also a parallel to Lacey Green, because they're always jumping down her throat about, apparently she said something about trannies 8 years ago.
It wasn't even in a bad context, right? She said trannies because this was 2009, and back then people weren't as woke as they are today. So I believe she. Yeah, I hate it too. I just use it ironically.
Yeah.
So I think she was watching a video by some transgender person, and that person used the word tranny. So when she was talking about transgender people, she said trannies too. And afterwards, she got some flack for it. She apologized. And then in 2015, I think it was, someone dredged it up because they didn't like her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, look, she's got a transphobic past. And so she was forced to apologize for it. And she'd already apologized for it before, but that wasn't enough for them. It was always something new. Like, that's the thing with these people. You can apologize, and it doesn't matter because they'll bring it up again a couple of months later. Right. It always happens. I could pull up so many examples, and we would run out of time. Yeah,
exactly. Okay, Donkey Hobo asks if I'm Slender Man, and of course I am. You know that. Anyway, so what was I going to say? This thing with Lacey, though, how long do you think they'll keep it up? Is this like she's just going to have to go through? I mean, she's going to have to either endure this or switch totally like you did, or what is your take on that?
I think that she has no real option here except to denounce them. I mean, she's already doing that, but they're not going to stop. That's the thing about these people, is they are like, you want to talk about losers, they like making fun of gamers, saying that gamers live in their mom's basement and play video games all day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's projection. They are the ones who do that. Like, I actually know a few of them who actually do that. They live in their mom's basements, and they just rant on at people all day, whine about not getting a job, set up a Patreon account. And no offense, if you have a Patreon, that's fine, but they don't produce anything, right? They just beg for money the whole time. So I don't think they're ever going to let up. I mean, they haven't let up on me. And even before I got the job at Heatstreet, and I wasn't as outspoken as I am right now, they were already going after me. There were people calling me a threat to minorities, and I'm like, hold on a sec. Am I not a minority myself?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. How does that work?
Yeah. So they will just keep going at you until you reach a breaking point. And their idea, I mean, this, I suppose, is their goal, is to shut you up, make you go away forever. But shame only works for so long. And it might have worked in 2014 when people were afraid of the backlash. But now, I mean, if you look at the biggest YouTubers, I'm talking PewDiePie, H3, you can see that the tide, has turned, and that people are tired of being silenced. They're tired of being told that they're wrong, that they're bad people, that they're white supremacists or whatever, especially when they're not. And so I think, they'll just keep going on and on, but she's got the option to basically fight back here. She can speak out, and I do see it in her tweets that she's every day, she's just calling them out, and that's kind of a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah. But so you're saying after you've worked for Heatstreet for a year, they're still coming after you?
Oh yeah, every day. I mean, I have more haters now than I've ever had before.
Wow, I guess that's kind of good for a journalist, though.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
or I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you say?
No, I agree. I mean, the only worry, I suppose, is if I go to a place like VidCon or E3 or something, and one of them decides to sucker punch me. That's a possibility. I don't think about it, but it is
Mm-hmm.
a small possibility that someone might do that. Yeah,
Right, right.
that's the risk you take for being a figure in the public limelight.
Yeah, yeah. That's. I guess that brings us over to that subject about the bronies, huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So
So,
you want me to explain what happened here?
yeah, you're the journalist, so you should do that.
Right. So a couple of days ago, a young man, I believe he's 23 or 24 years old, he shot up a grocery store, a massacre, essentially. He killed 3 of his coworkers, and then he killed himself. It's since been, discovered that this guy was a brony.
Hmm.
Not that it has anything to do with his shooting, but this
Right.
guy ran a YouTube series. It's called Ember's Ghost Squad.
Okay.
And it's based on a character from some cartoon, some Nickelodeon cartoon. Um, he he said, he released a series of videos, suicide tapes explaining his motivation, and essentially he hated everybody, and he hated men in particular. And he
Hmm.
says that since 10th grade, he related so well to Ember from the cartoon that he made a series of videos about her. It was fan fiction, essentially, right?
Right. Right.
Um, and so it culminates in Ember and her gang shooting up a school and dying, same way that he did. So this guy had kind of a thing for Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris when they shot up Columbine. He used to
Hmm.
he used to idolize them, and I guess he still did. And so he related to them, and the guy is clearly mentally ill. He
Yeah.
very much needed help. I mean, he was posting this stuff online, on Facebook, on Tumblr, and really nobody really helped him. So that's sad. I mean, in its own way, yeah, he killed people, and that's fucking terrible. And the guy's a monster for doing that. But the warning signs were all there. If anyone knew him, they would have
What,
should have done
what,
something about it.
right. What did he do that would set off the alarm?
I mean, he used to talk about the Columbine killers a lot. I mean, that's kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
used to fetishize them, like not in a sexual way, because curiously, the guy identified as transgender, even though he didn't, change his name to a woman's name or anything like that. He very much hated the fact that he was a guy. He would rant. Like in his last video, he was ranting about men the whole time. He was talking about how he related more to being a woman, and
Right.
how the character Ember made him realize that he was a girl. This is not an entirely sane person, obviously is,
Yeah.
based on what he did. Yeah.
Did, yeah. Holy shit. Transgender wanting to be a woman and going out killing. Yeah, that's
Yep. Killing people based on a cartoon. Yeah. He even gave himself. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just heard about this just before we went live, and I'm just sort of like blown away by that.
Hmm. He even wrote a headline for himself. He said, "It's quite ridiculous to think that this could be headlines. Man shoots up place over cartoon." And yeah, it's kind of what happened.
He wrote that.
He wrote that. Yeah, he wrote that. Like, he clearly wants some fame, and thanks to what he did, I mean, it's horrible. He, everyone will know this fucking cartoon, right? They'll know what he did. That's how he'll be remembered. And it's terrible that people are actually doing that. They use social media. And I had a bunch of people ask me, they asked me, why didn't anyone stop him, before it was too late? Why didn't the police investigate the videos? Well, the reason for that is very simple. He didn't actually release the videos. He made them, but he only uploaded them on the day of the shooting. And then while he was at work, he had queued up some sort of social media app to schedule the tweets out to link to his vlogs. That's why no one knew about it. I'm sure his close friends had some idea, but no one ever did anything. It's Tumblr. Everybody's always depressed, always threatening suicide and trying to kill people all the time. So, I mean, at some point, there's a saturation effect, right?
Yeah. So was he dead when the tweets went out, or?
Yeah, he was dead by the time they went out. Yeah,
Wow.
he was talking about himself in the past tense in the videos.
So yeah, that's some serious planning.
Yeah, it's 200 megabytes worth of vlogs. So I had to troll through some of them, and that was like the most the one that stood out to me. Everything else is just him talking about his the people that he knew, his parents whining about them, all that stuff.
Right. So, connecting back to that Russian Deadpool guy, we haven't heard much about that. Have you, journalists, heard anything? What happened to him? Has he got a trial or what?
He's got a trial. I don't know when exactly. I need to look up, see if there's any updates on that. But they upped his charge to first-degree murder.
Oh, it is first now.
Yeah, it's first. Yeah, it was originally second, but it's first now. And last I checked, we don't really have any details as to why they upped the charge. They might be seeking a plea bargain. That's a possibility.
Right.
But there's also a possibility that the story that everybody talks about, wow, you just got $15 here.
Oh.
Nice. From Luca Blight, 69.
Here, Luca Blight, 69. I'm doing my red pill. I think the term goes, thank you for the enlightenment and entertainment. Well, thank you very much for the $15, Luke. Or Luca. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. Yeah. So, the story that everybody talks about was that he had PTSD because he was in the military, right? That's not true. I mean, he probably doesn't have PTSD, and the reason why is because he never served in a foreign location. All he did was pass his basic training.
Right,
he was
right. I saw those records too. He was never deployed.
Yep, and the Army also confirmed it. So it's not just the records. Those are not fabricated. The Army actually contacted news agencies and said that no, he wasn't deployed anywhere, and these records are real. Yeah. He was in not a reservist, but like in the National Guard. He was in the National Guard. He was private. He was a private. That's it.
Yeah. I guess so. I guess we won't hear anything for a while. I guess they're not scheduling a speedy trial or anything.
Right. I'll definitely follow up on it. As soon as the case goes forward or whatever, I'll definitely have a new piece up.
Yeah, I guess. Obviously, that would be of interest to a lot of people who since he's had so much interaction with everyone in these circles.
Yep.
So that's interesting. All right, so let's get back to how did you figure out that you wanted to leave the SJW cult?
I'd attribute that to my best friend. I hadn't spoken to her in years, but we reconnected. And she had seen what I was doing to myself, I should say. And she reached out.
What were you doing to yourself?
Drowning myself in Kool-Aid.
Okay.
It was at a point where I was, ranting every day. I was miserable, literally miserable. Like just every day, just finding some outrage, something to be outraged about. And the thing they don't tell you about SJWs is they always seek outrage. And the thing that SJWs do is they will bitch and moan to anybody that they know that they're close to about whatever it is they're outraged about. If you've ever had an SJW friend, they will always find something to complain about. They'll be like, hey, have you seen this thing? Have you seen this Marvel comic thing? It's so offensive. Oh my God, we got to do something about it.
Right.
So I was doing that.
Thank you, Mine Rover Powell, there for $5. So what is it about the outrage culture that is so interesting to SJWs?
For many, it's a platform. It's a social platform. The louder they are, the more noise they make about something, the more coverage they get, the more attention they draw to themselves, the more meaning they give themselves, through their own empty lives. And make no mistake, my life was pretty empty at the time. So these people, in general, they have nothing to do. They're bored, and they want prestige. They want attention. This is not some noble thing where they see some minority and they need to help that person. If you really care about people, you would join the Peace Corps. You would volunteer. You would do something in the real world that actually helps people, whether it's an organization that helps people in general, or whether it's feeding the homeless, actually going to a homeless shelter and feeding people. That's what a real a person who actually cares about equality or justice, I'm saying justice, not social justice, would do, right? But social justice warriors are essentially armchair keyboard warriors. They're keyboard warriors on the internet, being outraged.
So the term virtue signaling, that's just not an empty phrase. That's literally what they do.
It's literally what they do. Take for example the recent Wonder Woman thing, and I don't know if you follow Stephen Miller. He's one of my co-writers at Heatstreet, and he bought tickets to the women's only screening of the movie, right, Wonder Woman, and he tweeted about it, and he was very stable, very there was no drama here. He just said, "Oh, I bought them, and I just want to see whether the company is going to try to ban me, because that's illegal, right? In the state of New York, it's a public place. You can't ban a person based on their gender or sexuality or race." So he did that, and lo and behold, it wasn't like an hour had passed, and everyone was writing about how bad this was. Oh my God, this fragile male white guy, buys a ticket to invade women's safe spaces. This is literally rape. That's what they were saying, right? Insane.
Right. That's kind of like some Jim Crow kind of bullshit.
Oh yeah. It's insane. It's absolutely nuts. So
it's like probably in the 50s or whatever, the press would have said the same thing about Rosa Parks, right?
Well, yeah, they would have said that about her. All she did was sit in a seat.
Yeah, what a horrible woman trying to sit in the front.
Yeah.
And
like, he's not going to compare himself to Rosa Parks, because men are not especially discriminated against in the real world, right? But online, sure, yeah, they did turn him into kind of Rosa Parks, and this is their own doing. This is not, you didn't really see conservative sites go, "Oh, look, this poor man, he's being discriminated against." Like, no, this is mostly SJW sites, progressive sites, going on and on about how he was an evil person who needed to be stopped. So
yeah. Oh yeah. Thanks, Phil. Again, there for $5. He says there's a end Father's Day thing on Twitter going on, and he's losing his faith in the world. I totally get where you're coming from there. And actually, I saw that tweet you sent out probably earlier today, I think, about that. What was that? Yeah, that was about that screening. They wanted a black only screening, right?
Right. Yeah, they did. Yeah, some woman is calling for it.
So
it got
segregation. Welcome back.
Yep. 2,000 plus retweets. That's how many, and 2,000 is a small number, but it really is reflective of a larger group of people, right? So that's kind of scary. Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, it depends on how big the tweeter was. I mean,
right.
If she had a large, huge following, I guess it's a small number, but
she's not. She's a nobody. Yeah, she's a nobody.
So 2,000 from a nobody. That's huge. I mean, I don't get 2,000 fucking retweets.
So that happened. So going back to him, they do these outrage online things, but when he went to the theater, he didn't. There was a lot of press there, people waiting for some outrage to happen. But he was smart. He bought tickets to an earlier showing, so all he did was sneak into the other theater, which he did have tickets for. So he didn't have to deal with the press. He declined talking to the press, declined giving interviews, because he didn't want to make a spectacle out of this. And more so than already was, he declined Vice as well as Milo Yiannopoulos wanting to tag along with him to watch, the movie with him.
Right.
He was like, not gonna do that.
Yeah, that would have been a spectacle.
Yeah. So anyway, he just watched the movie. Nothing happened. No one threw water at him. No one threw piss at him, as some people were expecting. Yep. He watched the movie. He wrote a review, and that was it. It kind of goes to show that even the people in the theater, they didn't know who he was. They didn't care. Nobody gave a shit. But one thing he did notice was when Jason Momoa came on screen, all the women started hooting and hollering like men at a strip bar. So
right. He's considered to be a sexy man, huh?
Yeah, so a lot of sexism going on there. It's totally okay when they objectify guys, but not okay when guys objectify women.
No, you can't have that. But
Yeah.
so objectify the guy. That's fine. Go for that.
Yeah. Could you imagine if men that did that in a theater? Like, it would be kind of terrible, wouldn't it? Like
yeah.
like you're watching Baywatch or something, and a hot girl comes on. Alexander Daddario comes on, and everybody, all the guys are like, "Whoa, no!"
Yeah, that probably hasn't happened in the '80s, since the '80s or something.
Yeah. That would have happened in the '80s, but not anymore. I mean, that's cringe. That's super cringe.
Yeah, that'd be cringy as fuck. So, okay. So your friend basically helped you realize that your life was empty, and this wasn't any good for you. What happened after that?
After that, I started pulling away from Zoe Quinn and her crew. I mean, I bowed out of it, and it all coincided at the same time. Everything happened at the same time. A number of Gamergators had been talking to me at the same time. My friend, and I were friends again, and I had treated them very poorly. The Gamergate supporters, I had dehumanized them. I had said the worst things about them. I'd taken the things that they said out of context that made them into horrible people, and I completely regret that. Right? So the one of the turning points was people were talking to me, and they treated me like a human being, even though they were on supposedly the opposite side, and I got to see them as people. And some of my other friends, the not SJWs, but like conservative friends, like Brad Wardell, for example, I'd known him for almost 10 years at the time, and he didn't stop being my friend just because I became an SJW. That was interesting, and they hated this guy. Zoe Quinn hated this guy, so that was a thing. And while all this was happening, I started to get really irritated at the outrage. Really pissed off, because I would see the stupidest tweets from, say, a guy like Tariq Musa, the Polygon writer, and he would be bitching and moaning about something just random, be like, "This is so racist, oh my God, ban it," And it was frustrating to see how smug he was. He would talk to people like they were smug, and he's not the only guy. I mean, I'm just mentioning just one guy here, but there are dozens of these people, right? They'll always be bringing things up to be outraged about, and I couldn't say anything, because at that point, if I, being one of them, if I spoke out, I would be instantly, I would be an apostate, a heretic or something.
Right. So you're kind of that guy in church who started to doubt, and you're like, "Oh, what am I doing here?"
Right. And it's frustrating to not be able to speak out, because I felt, like my freedom was being taken away from me. I was legitimately, feeling oppressed. It was making me angry, irritated, really. So that was one of the things that made me blow up. At some point, I just decided to release an apology letter. I thought that, okay, I'm done with this. I'm fucking done. And I released an apology. Sargon made a video about it. Bless that guy.
Right. Okay, so A. Fenderson said we should look into Jordan B. Peterson. I'm sure we all already have looked into him. He's got a lot of interesting stuff, and I love the guy. And then we have, see here, from Tiberius Kirk. Hey guys, you hear about the law in Canada? They want to pass about how is you don't support what?
What?
I'm just trying to read here. It's fucking so small.
I understand. I understand what he's talking about. There's a new law in Canada that says that if you don't support your child's gender identity, they can take your child away from you and put him in a state home.
Oh, I haven't heard about that.
Yep, that's the thing. Shit. But the funny thing about this law, this proposal, is that it doesn't affect creeds. Meaning, if you're a Muslim or Sikh, by the way, I mean, Sikhs are fine, they're okay people. But if you're a religious, zealot who's part of a creed, then this law doesn't apply to you. But if you're anybody else, then, oh, God forbid, you're a bigot, you're a homophobe. We got to take your kids away from you because you're unfit to be a parent.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Oh, thanks, misogyny. Right. There we go. But how do they figure that's going to work? How can you just blatantly be racist against one particular group in the law? Don't they have a fucking constitution?
They do have a constitution, but like the Human Rights Council or whatever it's called kind of overrides it. They have these kangaroo courts over there, and a person can be, accused of something like, oh, you discriminated against me by being a comedian who makes jokes about women, and I felt really triggered by this. So I'm going to sue you for thousands of dollars, and you won't even be there in the court. But the judge or whoever, the panel,
right,
will grant them their request, and then you end up having to pay money to this random person who you may have offended.
Right. That was that comedian who had to pay $15,000 for a joke. I remember that.
Correct. Yeah. There were other cases. There was a woman who sued her neighbor because she had to walk an extra, I don't know, a few more parking spaces away because a neighbor parked in her spot. And that was apparently biased against her disability. By the way, she doesn't actually have a disability. So, yeah, that was the thing.
Jesus. Yeah, and of course we had all the Twitter trial and all that stuff. It was hilarious. Jesus Christ.
England is also doing something similar. There's this YouTuber. I can't remember his name, but he's one of those Kekistani guys, and he taught his dog how to sick Heil.
Yeah. Count Dankula.
Count Dankula, yeah, that's the guy. I love the guy.
Yeah. Oh man, that
I might be going to jail.
Yeah, have they had the trial or what?
I don't believe so. No, not yet.
Yeah, so he's out on bail or something.
Right. Yeah, he may go to jail for up to a year because of what he did.
Fucking retarded.
I know.
Jesus Christ. Thanks, Orphanex. Yeah. I don't know what bike lock is.
Okay, Bike Lock Professor. I know what that is. It's the Antifa guy. He's a professor at Diablo Valley College.
Oh, okay. I know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He was caught on camera, allegedly, smashing his bike lock into people, smashing their skulls.
Yeah. And Paul hunted him down, right?
Right. Paul hunted him down. They did all this facial recognition. I mean, they can if they can use the the contrails in the air to find a flag for people not to fight us, This is easy for them.
Jesus Christ, we should start a space program with those guys.
Yeah, we should. They would nail it. Eric Clanton.
We'd be on Mars right now.
Yeah, we would. So the guy's name is Eric Clanton. He has been arrested and charged with multiple assaults. That's a felony charge, not some misdemeanor. They found a whole bunch of Antifa-related materials in his home when they raided it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's pretty obvious it's him. It's pretty obvious it's him.
Oh yeah. I mean, they presented a pretty convincing case. They had like fucking diagrams and everything. That was awesome.
Yeah. The police even backed it up. I mean, police did their own investigation, and that's why they're charging him.
Yeah. Pole, huh?
Yep.
Don't fuck with Pole.
No, don't fuck with Pole. They'll get you.
Yeah. Holy shit, that's awesome. So, I wonder what makes them so vile that they actually have they've achieved a nice position in life, and they just go out and throw it all away. Like he's a fucking professor.
I know, he's a professor, yeah. He's supposed to be a professor of ethics and philosophy.
Oh, fuck. Jesus Christ, I almost made fucking coke come out of my nose.
I guess it's ethical to beat people now.
Jesus Christ, Professor of Ethics goes out and beats people up with a bike lock. Mm-hmm. Oh. Okay, Luca Bright, 69. See Britain's election results. Yes, we sure did.
Yeah, minority government.
Yeah, I don't know really what to say about that, except that she fucked up.
She fucked up. I mean, the whole thing about let's go kill more foxes. That's gonna go over real well with the general public.
Yeah, that's retarded. Jesus Christ! And take the money from the elderly and the infirm and whatever, and then start hunting for ivory again. Yep. Great platform, asshole.
The funny thing is, and here's the funny part. People don't like Corbyn, which is why he didn't win the majority vote either. You know, like how bad do you have to be to lose to her? You know, like
I know it's like the American election in reverse.
Yeah.
They just have what you want: AIDS or cancer. Pick one.
Yeah, pick one. And now you have a minority government, which will probably result in a hung parliament. So you have both. Yay! Nothing gets done. Awesome.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Yeah. So you asked me about why professors do this, right? Like, and this guy's a professor of ethics. So I kind of made a meme. It's a slightly stolen meme. I just reworded it. I think mine's better. But it's the expanding mind meme. You know, the one of the brain, the small brain lights up. Yeah.
Right.
So the smallest brain is fighting injustice through economic and political avenues. And then the slightly brighter one is engaging in armed conflict to dismantle systems of oppression. And the third one, you know, really lit up here is impulsively punching a white nationalist because it feels cathartic. And finally, the exploding mind, right? It's redefining the word Nazi to refer to everyone you dislike, to just justify punching them.
Yeah.
That's it in a nutshell.
That's pretty much it. I mean, we've kind of come full circle there. Like first they wanted to punch Nazis, then they wanted to define everyone who is a Nazi. And now Lacey Green and Chris Reagan are Nazis.
Yeah, apparently.
Like, hello, what timeline is this?
Yeah. I hate the fact that some of my favorite authors support the whole Nazi punching thing, you know? Like, I see people like Warren Ellis, he wrote Transmetropolitan, and he wrote a fucking newsletter on the day that happened and said that he was talking about how he saw people reject the whole punching Nazi thing and how it was wrong, but he was like, oh, this is like a matter of survival, and so you are like morally obligated to go out and punch a Nazi. And I'm thinking, this is a slippery slope here, you know, because what is a Nazi? You know, what is a Nazi?
Yeah,
everyone's a Nazi these days.
Everyone is a Nazi, and they want to define who's a Nazi. It was fine when you're at war with the fucking real Nazis. Obviously, but this is they just want to call people Nazis. I mean, we're all Nazis here. Everyone, you're a Nazi, I'm a Nazi. The entire chat is just full of Nazis, apparently.
Yeah, we're all white supremacists, and we're supporting the patriarchy. It's just hysteria nonstop. Everything is just white supremacist patriarchy, Nazism, and so on and so on.
Yeah, so basically,
versus Nazis.
Why don't you just advocate for, I want to be able to punch whoever I want. Just be honest.
Yeah, just be honest. At least that way people can shut you down. But no, I think they do this. They use the Nazi thing because it gives them the moral, obligation to do what they do. You know, it lets them, it gives them a free pass, so to speak. Right? They think that because they're morally justified to go out and punch a Nazi, therefore what they're doing is okay, and therefore, you know, if you try to stop them, you are one of the bad guys, or one of the Nazis, or Nazi sympathizers.
Right.
You see that all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what a weird timeline.
Yep. And now when people fight back, that's Nazi violence. Self-defense is Nazi violence. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Orphan. There again. Yeah, I mean, it's just unbelievable. How could we? It's like this happened in the last 5 years, I think. Right?
Yeah.
This whole everything just going absolutely batshit insane.
Yep. It started with journalists promoting these ideas. You know, of course, colleges have always been a cesspool of this, but now it's just gone out of control. I mean, it kind of started. Like it became a real big issue in 2015. That's when you saw this explosion of social justice, not only in social media, but in college campuses. Like places as old as Yale were banning Halloween outfits or trying to, right, as the students wanted them to. And when the professors were like, no, we're not going to ban them, this Halloween's Halloween, cultural appropriation's not real. They got kicked out of their fucking college, like, wow. These are tenured professors. Yeah.
I know. I mean, yeah, if we just go back 5 years, this just didn't used to be a problem. This happened so suddenly, and I guess that's why I have a channel, because if you go back just 5 years, I didn't even really think this was a huge deal. I was like, whatever. There's always going to be some
Yeah.
retards, and yeah.
Yeah. People outrage about everything. I mean, so funny thing is, back
But
when I was in SJW, I used to make fun of Tumblr. I used to think this is insane. You guys are, Tumblr's insane. I would make fun of them to my
Right.
SJW friends, and the SJW friends would laugh. But now they're the Tumblrs. The Tumblrs are among us.
Yeah, because Tumblr is like a time machine. You can see what's going to come into feminism if you look at Tumblr.
Oh, yeah.
Just give it like 6 months, a year, it'll be in feminism.
Mm-hmm. Like, look, Tumblr was among the first to get outraged by the outfits in Overwatch, the video game, and no one else cared at the time. No one was screaming cultural appropriation because some character wears a tribal outfit or something. But then give it 6 months, and Kotaku's talking about it. Okay. Tumblr got it first.
And they certainly had all the 57 genders first.
Oh yeah, they did. I mean, bun self. I identify as a bunny. I sexually identify as a bunny. My pronouns are bun self.
Oh yeah.
People refer to bun as bun self.
Lucas Blight is back with Tumblr is still suicide after on suicide watch after the election. I think Tumblr should always be on suicide watch. But if someone just looks away for a little bit, that'd be great. Okay, here we go with Orphan again. Harwood banned library late fees because of stress. Yeah. That's not all they did. I think they also gave credit for protests, right?
Yeah, that's right. And Evergreen is asking for everyone to get a passing grade if you're a minority. If you're white, then you don't get it. But if you're a minority, free pass. You get a free pass from college.
Have they responded to that?
That was one of the things that they rejected, that the faculty rejected, and that's why they're protests right now, because they're like refusing to completely cave in. They only caved in like 50% of the way.
Yeah, I mean, I almost wish they would have caved on that, because that would have been so funny.
They would have killed the college.
Yeah,
they would have.
Yeah, fuck, send in.
They're already at risk. Yeah. Apparently they receive like 50% of their funding from Washington State, and Republican lawmakers there are proposing a bill that will defund that college. I don't think it's going to pass because it's mostly Democrats there, but I mean, a lot of the investors themselves, the people who donate to the school, they're pulling out. And enrollment's going to drop. I mean, parents are not going to want to send their kids there to this crazy fucking school. They saw what happened in Mizzou.
Oh yeah, I mean, they lost like a ton of funding, right?
They lost 23% of their student enrollment. It dropped by 23%. Yeah.
Right, and that's huge.
Oh yeah.
When a company loses 23%, they're like, holy shit.
Might as well shut down.
Are these guys going to go bankrupt now? Or
yeah. Right.
It's huge.
And enrollment is down in general. Yeah.
Yeah.
They are.
Indeed. Okay. Ace Larkin is asking, Larkin, would you two have any suggestions for how a conservative university student can interact with liberal agendas that is being promoted by lecturers? That's a tough one.
I'd say don't.
Yeah, don't.
Don't. Yeah, just keep your head down. It's a poisonous place. They'll try to ruin you and kill your future job prospects. I think.
Yeah, and
if you're in college, yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and here's the thing that these idiots don't seem to understand. You're in college to get a fucking job, so make sure you get a good degree. And do whatever you have to do to get that fucking degree, so you don't have to fucking be. Would you like fries with that? Because that's what gender studies are heading for. That they're just going to go out there and they're going to be baristas and fucking McDonald's personnel.
Yep. Or they're gonna beg on Patreon so that they can be activists. Many of them do that,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah, I
games
mean,
journalism. Yeah.
sure. I mean, yeah, that's, but there's, that they can't do that forever. You know,
No.
that's not
Mm.
a lifetime job. It's like a
Oh, you
gig
should
for a while.
take STEM. Take up programming, learn chemistry,
Exactly.
go work for a big company and make a shit ton of money. And then if you want to be an activist, fine. You can do that, but at least you'll be actually making a difference. I mean, if you make a lot of money, maybe you can donate some of it to a charity or something, or a cause that you believe in. And by the way, you just got $20.
Right. Viking 1000 asks, do you think that Evergreen will shut down because of it failing to make college enrollment agreement? Yeah,
It's a possibility. Yeah.
I really don't know. I hope so, because that fucking place needs to be burned to the ground.
It's one of those hippie colleges
No,
that's always
okay,
been bad.
that's not a call for violence. Don't do it, kids. All right, sorry.
No, I think only Antifa will take that seriously.
Yeah.
Because they'll have to justify the violence. Did you see that short woman? I can't remember her name. She leads BAM.
Oh yeah.
By any means necessary. Yvette Falaka, yeah, that's her name.
Mhm.
She was on, local news in Berkeley saying that she advocates for violence, and that she believes that, burning down Berkeley and smashing all those windows was a success for their group, and that she wants to see other student organizations do this all across the country. She wants to see a glorious communist revolution, just like fucking Mao Zedong.
Oh my God, liberals get the bullet too.
Liberals get the bullet too. They hate liberals. These people are not liberals. Make no mistake. I mean, we love using the liberal word to describe them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They're absolutely not liberal. They
That's
are
true.
the
They
opposite
are-
of liberals.
Yeah, I guess the instigators of the revolutions get the bullet too. Would be a more accurate way to put it. Fucking hell! I mean, who survives a revolution? It's just a guy at the top. That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
The dictator.
Everybody else is a useful idiot. All these students, these professors, even they're the first against the wall because they're like the SA. You know what Hitler did to the SA? He imprisoned all of them, killed some of them because they were a threat to his his glorious new Third Reich.
Yeah. They knew how he was in person and all that, and just had to go. Knew his weaknesses and blah blah blah. Turret Mob says was at Seattle anti-Sharia rally hysterical. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the reports on that too.
Me too. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
There was one earlier today where I forget where it was, but Lauren Southern had piss thrown on her.
No, really?
Yeah, really. There's a video of it. I linked it in my my Twitter.
Right. Yeah. Ian's Twitter is in the description, so you can go check that out.
Thanks.
Wow. That is so disgusting. Oh, thanks, Keith. Keith Trotman for $5. Wow.
As they noted, it's fox piss. Yeah, it's the stuff that hunters use, to catch foxes, I guess. That's what they used. I mean, but it's still piss. There's no different than any kind of piss.
Isn't that like a sex crime?
It should be. It's an assault. Yeah. It is literally an assault. But the police didn't want to do anything about it. She went to a cop and they said, "Well, wash it off." Like, okay.
Yeah, sure. I mean, she's not going to die from it, but I'm sure if some guy came up and pissed on a girl, that'd be some fucking, sex offense shit.
Yeah. And what they're doing is some fucked up shit right there. I mean, if they had punched her, would the cop have said the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
Seriously. I mean, pissing on people or throwing piss or any sort of, bodily fluid on someone should be assault. And it is actually assault. It's against the law to do it because that's how you get sick,
Yeah.
And maybe fox piss won't make you sick because it's fox piss, right? I doubt it's transferable to humans.
I guess. Still,
it's piss. It could have been human piss. I don't know. They keep it in a bottle of fox piss. I don't know. It's a possibility.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's when it starts to get kind of kinky. If it was human piss, and if it's
Yeah.
kinky and violence and
Sexual assault.
illegal, then you're going to the sex offenders registry or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Or at least that's the way it should be.
I gotta ask, who carries a bottle of piss in their bag?
The same type of guy who carries a bike lock, I guess.
I guess so. Yeah.
Someone who's planning ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who's really just going there to
Gonna have a good time.
Really stirring up shit.
Motherfuckers.
Oh, fucking hell. All right. So anyway, we're going back and forth. You'll have to excuse us, chat. But let's get back to your story.
Okay. Ask away.
Yeah. Anyway, where were we? You had your revelation, and you're basically like the guy in church, doubting.
Yep.
So what
doubting
happened?
Thomas?
Yeah. So what happened? I guess at some point you made your apology thing. That's right. That's where we were. Sargon.
I made the apology.
Sargon made a video.
Correct. So I made the apology, and funny thing is, some of the SJW friends that I had, even in con, had looked it over and they thought it was okay and they understood my decision, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because they're such a fucking hive mind, they're a group of sheep, right? As it published, some people were not so happy with it, right? They were not so happy with the fact that I was talking to Gamergate people, right? Anti-SJWs. And so they started going against me publicly, calling me out, like dozens, hundreds actually. I had a collage of tweets that they had sent to me or were talking about me. They were all tweeting about me, right? So the people who had initially supported my decision to bow out of con, they had suddenly become my enemies. Imagine that. How convenient. Because all their buddies were, against me. So, hey, let's join the crowd. You might as well be on the safe side. God forbid we think for ourselves and be independent.
Yeah. I guess that's something they really fear. The collective punishment.
That's and they enable it. That's the problem. It's why it's like a cult, I mean, it's not completely a cult, but it's very much like one.
Right.
They see that a person gets ostracized and they don't want to be that person. So they join in the crowd. They pick up a stone and they throw it, because they don't want to be the person who doesn't throw it.
So basically the term witch hunt is very astute in this instance.
It is. Yep. And it's funny because Zoe Quinn calls herself the unburnt witch, and yet there wasn't an actual witch hunt of her, It was mostly game journalists, and she just happened to put herself in the limelight. So she's not the witch here. It's mostly people who are apostates. They're the witches, because look at who are the witches are. It's the people who refuse that ideology, and make no mistake, SJWs all have the same fucking beliefs because they all think like each other. They don't think independently. Whereas
I know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
With Gamergate supporters, you have liberals, you have conservatives, you have people who have no politics, who don't give a shit. And they don't, even though they disagree with each other on various topics, they have a common ground, right, on the issue of ethics in games journalism, or they had. I mean, when Gamergate was actually around.
Right.
It's not anymore, despite the fact that games journalists and even mainstream journalists now love talking about it, because why not, right? Every article about the alt-right has to mention Gamergate for some reason.
Yeah, it's weird.
Even Trump, every article about Trump, gotta have that Gamergate in there. Why not?
Yeah, every derogatory term. Just throw in Nazi and Gamergate and everything.
Tick every box, get all that SEO.
Fucking hell. Yeah. Yeah, but that's the thing. I think we touched on this before, but I think that's a difference, like, between how they treat people and how our quote side unquote treats people. I mean, if you made a mistake, that's fine. We're all human. You can be forgiven, and anybody can be forgiven.
like with the Bioshock Infinite thing, when I spoke out on that,
Mhm.
they never forgave me, you know. So when I left anti-Gamergate, the SJWs, they brought that up. That was an instance, right? They were like, "Well, I knew he was always a shitlord," and they used the term very unironically. I knew he
Mhm.
was always a shitlord because remember that time he said that Bioshock Infinite isn't sexist, you know, or racist or something, and like
Right.
they don't forgive
No,
ever.
I know, I know. Okay, Luca, thank you again. I'm not an apostate. I am a prostate. Do not assume my identity thingy. Yeah, there we go. We will refrain from my assuming anything about you then. Thank you. Yeah, but that's interesting because um, this ties in with Lacey Green. Everyone's been like, okay,
Yeah,
if you change your
exactly.
mind, that's cool.
Yep.
Um,
Um,
we're willing to listen.
And I like to, draw an example here since we're talking about Lacey Green. You know, she was doxxed,
Mm-hmm.
and what they did was they went after her family, right? They spread the dox and got the trolls after her, and people are harassing her, they're harassing Chris, they're harassing her family, um, and they love saying that Gamergaters do this, right? But that's absolutely not true, because I know a bunch of Gamergaters. I'm their friends. I'm friends with them, and um, we have, at various times come into the possession of people's docs because
Mm-hmm.
they do exist. Right? These SJWs, they piss off a lot of people online, right?
Right.
So people will look them up, and some of them are very easy to look up. And we came into the possession of one of the prominent ones. Their docs, they're like an anonymous person. And
Mm-hmm.
what happened was we actually messaged them and we said, "Hey, your docs are out there. They're in the wild. They didn't come from us. So if anything happens to you, it's not us. And we
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to let you know that your stuff is very easy to find. And these are the things you need to do to stop it, to stop people from digging up who you are. You got to go delete these posts from some website that you went to. Your name is there. You accidentally did that.
Right. Right.
We gave them a heads up. Yeah,
That'd be the honorable thing to do.
right. Because we know what can happen when a person gets doxxed. Right, shit happens. Like Milo Yiannopoulos got a syringe sent to his mailbox. What the hell, right?
Right, and there's been so many swattings. Like
Swattings. That's right. King of
that.
Pole was swatted, for example.
Right. Right.
Monday Matt had something happen to him. Mr. Repzion, the FBI visited him because someone signed his name and put his address there as a bomber. Who was threatening Anita Sarkeesian. He had never done any of that.
Right. Right. Jesus Christ! Thank you, Elegant
framed it.
Harridan. Elegant Harridan, for your support. It's much appreciated. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know Repzion got in trouble for that. That was news to
Oh,
me.
yeah, he did. The FBI visited him. Yeah, they were like, "Are you the person?" They interrogated him. Like, "Are you the
Wow.
person who did this?" Yeah, that was a mess.
That's some serious shit when the FBI shows up. That's even more serious.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And that's in your permanent record. It might not be in your police record, but it's somewhere. There's a record of it.
Of course.
He's on some fucking list now, thanks to that.
Yeah, because every time they do a background check or something, it's not just going to show arrests. It's going to show he was he was a suspect of something because they keep their internal records, right? Even though
Exactly.
they can't prove something, they'll still keep the record.
Mm-hmm. Like, it won't be admissible in court, but it's
of course
you're going to be a suspect in a crime. Yeah, if any crime shows up, they'll be like, "Well, he's got this on his record."
Yeah, so then next time something happens, they'll look at him even harder.
Exactly.
Obviously. So,
and that's a bad thing. Yeah. So they did all these things to people, and yet the people that they accuse of being doxers and harassers and everything else happen to be the exact opposite, because we have, some sense of decency, some sense of honor, that this is just not what you do to people,
right.
Like, they'll go after our jobs. They'll try to get us fired. I've had that happen. I've had people mail my editors, tell with stupid bullshit, and we just laugh it off. But that is a thing that they do. They love going after people and getting people fired. And many Gamergate supporters did lose their jobs over it. A military vet was reprimanded by his commanding officer because he was active in Gamergate.
Mm-hmm.
They called him a harasser. Yeah. Yeah, and he's a vet. He served, he served overseas. I'm not talking about some Deadpool type guy. This is a guy who actually went to Afghanistan, fought for the country. Like what the hell? How can you do this? Purple Heart recipient.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
They have gotten, I think it was Jay Millerworks. He got fired from his job over comments that he made on Twitter. Joking comments, and like, wow, you guys go after everything, and you wonder why everybody hates you. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously you remember the heart researcher that was he was going to get, I don't know, he got the Nobel Prize, right? Or
oh yeah, he got the Nobel Prize, but
he got it. So he was actually a Nobel laureate, probably the foremost research scientist in the world, and
call him a sexist.
They just got him fired because he said some fucking joke.
He made a joke and everybody was laughing. And this, I think she was a journalist or something. It's a black woman in the UK, right? She was there, and she had written an account of what he had said, and she made it seem like no one laughed at the joke, that he was being completely sexist. And they published that article. It went all over the place, but it was a complete lie. It wasn't what actually happened at all. He was joking to women, and he was actually there to support the women, which is the fucked up thing, right? He was in, I believe, South Korea. Yeah, South Korea, trying to get more women to come into STEM. He was supporting them, and he made that joke because, hey, it's kind of funny to make this joke among women, right? It's it's obviously a joke.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, you can take any joke and just, if you print it in text, totally out of context, it probably is going to sound horrible, because most jokes are horrible if you just take them out of context and put them in text.
Yeah,
and
it's like Colin Moriarty, right? He made a joke about peace at last, on hashtag a day without women, and he had been in bed with his girlfriend when he was tweeting that.
Yeah,
she thought it was funny. She said, like, yeah, go ahead and tweet it. So he tweeted it, and lo and behold, all his game journalist friends abandoned him that day.
Yeah,
like, wow.
and shirt guy, what about him? Like, Jesus
shirt guy, yeah. He accomplished something that had never been done before. He landed a satellite. Was it a satellite? No, a lander, right, on an asteroid, a moving asteroid. How the fuck did he do that? That is so insane.
Yeah, let's not care about that. Just let's care about the sexist shirt. Jesus.
Vox, was it Vox? Yeah, I think it was either Vox or no, it was The Verge. Chris Plant wrote about how offensive that shirt was.
I know they all did, and I know
they all did.
There literally was one journalist who wrote that exact thing. Like, yeah, so what? He landed on a fucking comment, but let's talk about his shirt. That was the headline.
Wow, that might have been Chris Plant. I think so.
Yeah,
I don't know. Usually cite his article.
Probably like BuzzFeed or something.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I remember the headlines. Like, really? You fucking moron! That's
and
what you're going.
They made him cry. They made him cry on TV. Yeah,
I know.
The person who made that shirt for him, it was a custom shirt. He loved that shirt, right? She was his best friend. She made it for him because she's a shirt designer, and she likes him, and she made this cool shirt for him. Figured, hey, this be awesome to wear, and he was supporting her, supporting a woman, no less, right? And oh my fucking god, they call him a sexist.
Yeah, I mean, that was, like you said, that was made by a girl, and he was probably doing that to make. He was doing her a favor. She's probably got her own little clothing line or whatever, and he figured, oh, I'll get a lot of TV exposure out of this, and I'll put this thing on, and it'll probably help you out. Right?
Yep, that's right. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Yeah.
So,
but then they made him cry on TV, and that wasn't enough. They were out for blood. They were calling for him to be fired. They were like, "Oh, it's so disingenuous. You can cry on TV. Hashtag male tears."
Oh,
and after he cried, they were all with their fucking male tears mugs.
Yeah,
all showing them off. They're like, male tears. And you talk about how men are unable to show their emotions. How dare you? How fucking dare you?
Exactly. I mean, they're always talking about, oh, fuck. Yeah, I just made a video about that earlier today, like toxic masculinity, like, oh, men aren't allowed to show their feelings, and that's toxic masculinity. But as soon as someone actually does, you fucking pounds on him.
Yep. God forbid a man has tears.
Thank you, Turret Mob. There, he's sending a highlight to Ian.
Cool.
Thank you. Yeah. So always that thing. Always the contradiction. Like, yep. You got to show more emotion. You got to be more feeling. And then if you do, you're fucked. Because then it's male tears.
Oh, it's male tears. Yeah. You have shown your weak side. You have flipped over on your belly, right? And on your back, rather. And now we're going to pounce. We're going to kill you. Yeah. This is when we go in for the kill. And it has happened. Look at Max Temkin, accused of raping someone, right? So if you don't know who Max Temkin is, he's the guy who made Cards Against Humanity.
Okay. And yeah, I don't remember. Go ahead.
He's this short manlet. I'm not going to make fun of his height, but he kind of looks like a manlet. No, seriously, I'm not going to make fun of his height. No. But no, this guy he made this game, and he is an SJW. Bear in mind, and he is Zoe Quinn's friend and everything. They know each other. She in fact wrote the apology message for him later. But anyway, he is just going about his day, and then one day someone accuses him of rape, right? Mm-hmm. And it's an anonymous person. But he knows who she is, and apparently it was a night that she regretted. He didn't rape her. My understanding is that he never raped her. She never lodged a complaint or anything like that. But she describes it now as a rape because friends convinced her that it was a rape. In the way that she worded it, she said that she didn't believe she was raped at the time, but then later on, she felt uncomfortable about what had happened. About. Mm-hmm. But she didn't like the experience. So she was talking to friends and they convinced her that it was rape. So now she's going public with it and that it is therefore a rape. So yeah, that happened. And the whole community turned on him, all the SJWs. Patricia Hernandez of Kotaku wrote an article about it. And so he wrote a letter saying that he did not rape anybody, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And essentially, it was just a flat-out denial of it being a rape. And he said that my account of the situation is completely different. And I believe Zoe Quinn helped him to write this letter. It was pretty clear, pretty concise, but that wasn't enough. Instead, the SJWs went after him again. They were like, oh, but how can, you got to hashtag listen and believe, right? And on top of that, Patricia Hernandez cast some doubt on it, and she said that even if he didn't rape her, that's not what he should have written. He should have instead used his platform as a way to make people spread awareness of rape, because he's got a duty somehow.
Fuck off. Because if you're accused of a crime that you didn't commit, your first instinct is going to be to help those guys out.
Yeah, totally. And ruin yourself.
Jesus Christ, that is.
Keep in mind this guy's fucking rich, right? So there's some financial motivation here. Going after him so publicly after so many years. Come on.
I mean, obviously, it's always like two people, he said, she said, whatever. It's hard to know. So, my policy in those situations is just, okay, prove it, asshole.
Prove it.
Just
prove it.
Go to court. Why are we talking about this in the media? I don't know who to believe. So fuck off. Just go to court.
And even if regardless of what actually happened, it's a situation between the two of them. I don't think anyone has a right to tell to the guy, even if he was guilty, right? Even if he's guilty, to use his fucking platform as a way to bring awareness to, about rape. No, that's not his duty at all. His duty is to defend himself, regardless of whether he actually did it or not.
Right. That's obviously what he's going to do, and expecting anything else would be stupid.
Oh. Yeah, it is. Someone in the chat asked me, am I active on YouTube? Yes, I am nowadays. Yeah.
Right.
I have a channel.
Have you linked it to your Twitter so people can find it?
I did not link it to my Twitter, but it's basically youtube.com/Ian Miles Cheong. So, right. I mean, I guess you could put it in the description.
Right.
That is the worst smile that I just did.
How did I don't know how to do that while I'm still doing this, because then I'll just go quiet.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I'll have to start digging all sorts of settings. But we can put that in afterwards. But for now,
Yep.
just go to the Twitter thing, Ian. I'm sure he'll figure it out.
Probably link to it on my Twitter. That's a good idea. Yeah.
If you're a multitasker, you should do that right now. Then
I should. Yeah, I'm actually doing that right now. Interestingly enough.
Yeah.
Not hard. Yep. Keep talking. Just, yeah.
Right. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So, how far have we gotten in your story?
Yeah. So at the time, so hold on, saving changes. Okay, it's there now. Okay, so at the time, Witcher 3 came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the biggest, most read articles, well, not most read, but most shared, I guess, articles on the game was reviews, were those reviews on Witcher 3. So at this point, I was fucking done with social justice. So I called them out. I called them out. I called it Arthurgis. I called it Turk Musa. They're calling the game racist because it didn't have enough black people in it. And I'm like, dude, this is set in like medieval Poland, I know it's not medieval Poland, but it's a fantasy medieval worlds inspired by Polish mythology, right? It even looks like Poland. So I pointed that out. And ever since then, I pointed it out in my article, and ever since then, the SJWs are like, oh, he stopped being an SJW because he was triggered by these reviews of a game. And like, that's not it at all. Like, you guys are simplifying things. And I know you know what you're doing. You're assholes, like you are fucking cunts who just simplify things.
Yeah, triggered. That's such a weird concept. I mean, when you were an SJW, did you get triggered?
No, not really. I mean, I get offended a lot. And that's a problem, though, with the term triggered is, I mean, in the original sense, it is a PTSD trigger, and those do exist, right?
Sure.
Car backfiring.
That got destroyed by a fucking Twitter girl, whatever her name is. Hensley or something, right?
Melody Hensley, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
and she's using all the triggered images because she looks like an idiot.
Yeah, that term is destroyed after her. So thanks for that, you asshole.
You ruined it for PTSD survivors.
Yep. But anyway, so, I mean, what I'm getting at is, do these people actually get triggered or offended or whatever, or is it an act?
I think for some it's real. For some it's an act. Yeah. With the virtue signaling people, with people like, say, Graham Linehan, it's definitely an act. They're disingenuous, completely disingenuous, right? With other people, though, they obsess with it for days. Like, I know someone who is literally burning books this weekend in my name.
What?
Yeah, because I'd recommended her some books to read when we were friends. I can't remember what books they were, but I have learned that she is going to burn some books in my name because she's mad at me because of the SJW, right?
That's some Nazi level of shit there. Don't they see the parallel? Like, book burnings, Nazis. Okay, no.
Yeah, and what did those fucking books even do to her? Seriously, God, just give them away if you don't like them, Out of sight, out of mind, right? Give them to somebody.
Yeah, I have a thing about burning books. That's wrong. Destroying knowledge,
Yeah. Like even if it's like a bad book, even if it's a bad fucking book, keep it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, I get it. There's probably 1,000 other copies of it and everything, but it's just something that bothers me.
It's the symbolism, of burning books.
Yeah, because there was a time when they actually burned the originals, and there were no copies.
No, none. Like the Nazis did it, and so did the Catholics during the the bonfire of the vanities, right? In Florence. Yeah, in Florence, they did that.
Yeah,
multiple bonfires. Yeah, they're burning hearts.
Exactly. They did that multiple times in multiple countries.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. They did that in like you said, multiple countries. They did it in South America, when they did a little Inquisition over there.
Right.
A mess. Alexandria Library. I mean, the Library of Alexandria, as people in chat point out.
Right.
ISIS is doing it right now, and you got the SJWs doing it in the West. Since they're not They can't exactly burn, stone sculptures. They can't destroy them without getting arrested.
Yeah, they certainly seem to like ISIS, though. Damn.
Oh yeah, I mean, they're even dressed like ISIS. Imagine that.
Exactly. I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I wish they would just show up with an ISIS flag or something.
It will happen at some point.
It probably will, right?
Yeah, it will. I mean, look at that SJW who was arrested recently for stealing documents from the White House, the NSA person.
Mm-hmm.
What's her name? Reality Winner. That's a terrible fucking name. Holy crap. She's so stupid, right? She's talking to her mom on a prison phone, so obviously it's tapped, and she should know this, but she doesn't. Telling her mom that she was planning to give out all the state secrets to America's enemies, and that she was gonna go to Afghanistan and sign up with the Taliban. She's not even a Muslim, she's not even like an ISIS supremacist or anything, but she just hates America. And, it's the whole enemy of my enemy, right? And she happens to think that the Trump administration ruling America is fascist, so therefore the enemy of Trump is a good thing somehow, even though they're so much worse.
I mean, just fuck off. I mean, what is the problem here? I mean, I get frustrated. Just fucking wait 3 years and you can vote again. What's the big deal?
Or vote during, the by-elections, the fucking, when Congress is up for votes.
Oh yeah, you can
vote
grab
then.
that.
Nobody fucking does that. The only people who vote then are like conservatives. That's why they always win the House and the Senate.
Yeah. So go do that, and then if that doesn't work, just vote next time.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he's going to have a tough time getting reelected. So just it'll fix itself.
Yeah.
Fuck. What is the problem?
So stupid. And that's the SJW mindset, is that they're willing to do the insane, the extreme, because they think that this is survival. This is how I'll protect the marginalized people. And those are the genuinely triggered people. When they see something go down, they will be genuinely triggered by it. When they see a taco truck run by 2 white women in Portland, oh my God, that is so triggering. We got to get them fired. We got to get them to lose their jobs and fuck up their business. And that has happened.
Yeah, that was so cringeworthy.
Just 2 nice women running a taco truck. Come on. How can you do this? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, who was that? Was that Jeff Holiday that did that video on it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and he actually went all the way, like balls deep into this issue, and looked up the fucking copyright laws and everything. Is there a way to copyright food? And nope.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
No, there isn't. That's why you have fusion dishes and so on.
Yeah.
Because you can't copyright food. It's not a thing. You can copyright like ingredients, like if you're making a product like Hershey's, right? And some other company makes the exact same thing. Yeah, you can probably go after them, but not in this case. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, but that's something that is basically assembled in a lab.
Product.
Yeah.
It's assembled lab as a product. Every one of them is going to be the same.
Yeah. And it's not something that you would make at home. It's like a laboratory.
Yeah, and those can be patented. Yeah.
Yeah, and Coca-Cola and shit like that, obviously.
Exactly. That's why every, like off-brand Coca-Cola or Dr. Pepper, you have like Mr. Pepper or something. You can steal a name and do stuff like that, but the taste cannot be the same, right? It's going to be slightly different. So even if they do have the original recipe, they got to change it slightly.
Yeah.
You can't use the same thing. Yeah. So that's
for food, it's just not possible to copyright it. So that was really like they just drove 2 people out of business because they made good food, and they were
essentially
that's basically the real story. The stupid story is they drove 2 people out of business because they made Mexican foods and they're not Mexicans.
Yeah, that's right. And funny enough, they don't have any problem with, say, a black chef making Norwegian food,
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is that okay, but this isn't, like, they'll say power plus privilege or something, right? I guess that's the go-to for everything. But really, it's a double standard, and I'm not saying that the black guy should lose his job either. I don't think anyone should lose their jobs. So, like, what the fuck?
Of course not. If he, the only thing is, does he make good food, and does he keep it clean, no cockroaches and shit? Then you're fine.
Yeah, exactly. Josh R in the chat says that we should do more videos together.
Wow, you're gonna start making videos, not just streams?
I guess. I mean, maybe he means streams. I don't know, right? But I do plan on making some videos, just talking. The way you do.
Right. Yeah.
Because why not? Yeah.
That's both of them is great fun. So you should do both, and I'm sure we'll have more streams because you're very nice to talk to.
You are nice to talk to too. Yeah. This is now officially a bromance.
A bromance. Oh. Cool. Yeah. So anyway, we're
continuing my story.
Continue.
Yeah. Yes. So after the Witcher 3 thing happened, I started to lash out more and more against SJWs. And the reason I did that is not because I liked the attention or the drama. It was because they just wouldn't fucking stop talking about me. I just, for a time, I just wanted to bow the fuck out. I was tired. I just wanted to write about video games. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, one of the big reasons I bowed out of the whole thing, and I wrote this in my letter, the public apology thing, was that I had stopped playing video games for months. I'd never touched a video game. I might occasionally play something, but I was so busy being fucking outraged by things. So when Witcher 3 came out, I was hooked. And it was it was one of those turning points there that I realized I'm having fun here. I just want to play a game. I don't want to complain about stuff,
Right.
And so,
right. So do these people review stuff that they haven't actually played or what?
Oh, a lot of times, yes. Yes. I mean, there was one review in particular for The Witcher 3 that bullshitted about it. It said that the game had no empowering women in it. And keep in mind, 3 of the main characters are women, and they're all empowering in different ways. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, on the one hand, you could say, who cares about empowering women, right? Or empowered women. But they were there, they're in the game, and there were all these side characters too, who are equally well fleshed out human women individuals,
Right.
So that was an obvious lie. And the second lie that he made was that they were all scantily clad, and there were no women who were not modestly dressed. And I'm playing it, just an hour in at that point, and I'm like, wow, there's a ton of women here, and they're all dressed appropriately. So what are you talking about?
So he hadn't actually played it, or what?
Yes, I hadn't actually played it. Yeah. So many of them are like that. And you see this all the time. They'll either bitch about a game that is hip to hate on, and they'll come up with a lie about it, or they'll praise a game and it'll suck, right? Like Gone Home or No Man's Sky or Virginia. Virginia is a pretty good example of a terrible fucking game that they all loved, Game of the year. But oh my God, it's a boring fucking piece of garbage. It's a David Lynch wannabe game.
Oh fuck! I hate David Lynch.
Yeah, it was terrible. It's bad game.
Yeah. So sorry.
They're just pushing it.
I just triggered everyone who's watching Twin Peaks right now.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the new series. Maybe it's great. So.
Maybe it's great. Yeah, I haven't seen it either. Everyone's asking, WTF is Virginia? So Virginia is a walking simulator. If you don't know what a walking simulator is, think Gone Home, right? Essentially, you just press W to move forward and you do nothing, right? That's it. And this is worse than Gone Home because there's no dialogue in it. And Gone Home had the lesbian subplot, or rather, it was a main plot, right? You find out your sister's lesbian, and somehow that's supposed to be mind-blowing, and I played it. Now, looking back, I played that game, and I'm thinking, that was a shit game. It's a terrible story. It's bullshit, right? But at the time, when I was a social justice warrior, I was like, wow, this game is subversive. It actually, it seems like a horror game at first, but then it turns out that it's actually a story. Oh my God, this is mind-blowing. Wow, what a great game. That was I was drinking the Kool-Aid back then,
Mm-hmm.
And just if I try to put myself back in that mindset, I feel like a fucking fraud, like a complete fraud. It's difficult to do.
Yeah. I mean, the way you describe it, it seems like a lot of them just feed off each other. Maybe one of them played the game and then he writes some bullshit, and then they just play fucking telephone, and it just gets distorted for every version.
That's exactly what happens. That's why you see all these, and yeah, they're increasingly weird, right? It's one guy will say Horizon Zero Dawn is like a feminist game, and then the next guy who probably played it like less than this dude will say it's woke. It's incredibly woke. Oh my god, every male character in this game is a weak ass. It's perfectly feminist. Every man is weak in this, and I love that. Oh, I fucking hate men. They'll say stuff like that, and when an actual gamer, someone who plays video games, plays it, they'll be like, "Oh, this is a fun fucking game. This is great. I can get into this." Is it feminist? No, that's not really. No, it's got a cool main character though. She's female. All right, no big deal.
Right.
And that's how it is. And you see this with journalism too. You have one article about how PewDiePie may have made a joke that was not good, right? And then a couple hours later, Wired.com writes about it, and suddenly it's like PewDiePie's a white nationalist. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And then the people on Reddit and Tumblr and whatever, they all pick up on it and be like, "Oh yeah, he wants to kill the Jews." I'm like, wait a sec. Has he ever actually said that? No, he's not even as a joke. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with you?
No, I mean he certainly hasn't. Nowhere near anything like that.
No, absolutely not.
So stupid.
You see with Chris Ray Gunn too. On the one hand, someone will say he's an anti-SJW, and that's fine. That's what he is. And someone will pick up on that, and be like, I wonder what his politics are. Oh, I guess he's a Nazi. Yeah, or he's politically correct.
The Puerto Rican Nazi. Yeah.
Yep. Everybody's a Nazi. It just escalates all the fucking time with video game reviews, everything.
They're devaluating the words. They don't mean anything after a while. It's just that. I guess that's why they have to invent new words all the time.
It's about being woke. It's virtue signaling. It's about one-upmanship. It's like who has the wokest, hottest take on a subject. Can you be the one who writes about the wokest take on the subject yet?
Can
Wonder
you
Woman, for example,
outdo the other one in outrage kind of thing?
Exactly. Yeah, it's always about outdoing the other guy in outrage. Like one guy will say that this game is mildly sexist, and the next guy will say this is full-blown misogyny and it is rape.
Of course it is. So you're saying about Wonder Woman?
Oh, there's the Tor.com. That's a company that's gone down the SJW rabbit hole. They have completely lost their plot. And they released an article today saying that the character that's played by the lady in House of Cards, what's her name? The actress?
Yeah, I know who you mean, but yeah, whatever.
So she was in Princess Bride, right? That was like one of her original roles. She played the princess, and in that role, she was kind of a helpless princess, And now here she's a general, right? She's the reason why Wonder Woman exists, I guess. But she's only in the movie for 3 fucking minutes, right? And yet there's this fucking article. It's it probably take you 10 minutes long to read. Longer than she was in the movie, and it's saying that she's like the most powerful character in the movie. Oh my god, she's so feminist because she's a general and she teaches little girls that they too can be generals or princesses, and reading that I'm like, hold on a second, what are you talking about? She's in the movie for 3 minutes. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
not that special.
No. Like I said before, fucking go watch Aliens.
Yeah, watch Aliens.
You want a fucking strong female character that's not bullshit?
Yeah.
We did that fucking 30 years ago.
Yeah, or even Wonder Woman. Watch Wonder Woman for Wonder Woman, right? She's cool. She's a cool character.
Right.
But don't focus on the fucking general. Jesus, she's like a side character that throws, is thrown away. So, okay, no, she's not a main character. Come on. Jesus Christ. Yeah, again, like you said, watch Aliens or watch Terminator. Sarah Connor's fucking awesome.
Exactly. Yeah, James Cameron's always been good with that. He can write a female character that is strong and believable, and there's just no bullshit about it.
That's right. Yeah.
So yeah. All right. So at what point did you sort of figure that? Yeah, I'm switching sides. Oh, Magog is in the chat there. Take my money, Undoomed. Yeah, I will.
Thank you, Undoomed.
Thank you. Yeah. And here's another guy, Jesse N. What the hell does woke mean? It just means that you're aware of racial things and feminist things, I guess.
Yeah, it's best summed up with the Anita Sarkeesian quote, and I'm quoting her verbatim here. She says, "Everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, and you have to point it all out."
Yep.
That's wokeness. It's essentially taking the red pill, but for feminism. When you take that red pill for feminism, it makes you fucking stupid. This is the blue pill. Is actually what
take
it
the
is.
blue pill. Yeah, exactly.
You're taking the blue pill, and you see fucking like everything is sexist and racist and homophobic and problematic, Islamophobic and white supremacist everywhere. That's woke. You're waking up. Make sure you're going to sleep. You're dreaming.
Right.
Having a hallucination. You're having a fucking delusion. You're schizophrenic. That's what it is. Being woke is being fucking schizophrenic. That's what it is.
It's basically a mental disorder.
Yeah. It is.
Anyway,
it is a mental disorder.
Anyway, yeah. So you're saying about when you realized you were switching sides.
Probably when they were attacking me, and the fact that the people on the other side were so much nicer. Yeah.
Right. That's been fascinating.
They treated me like a person. They treated me like a human being. Like I could have a difference of opinion. I could be, say I could support evolution or something, right? Or support believe in global warming or something like that. Just any sort of hot topic, right? That would otherwise, like, if you had a different opinion on the SJW side, they would kick you out instantly. But here it's like, oh yeah, we welcome a difference of opinion. It's not only diversity, it's diversity of thought. And that to me was like freedom, it is freedom.
Exactly. Isn't it interesting? They want diversity of race, but no diversity of thought.
Yeah. And there's actually more white people over there, which is funny, like all the big leading SJWs are white people. They're white men with like beards and shit. I'm not saying that's bad to have a beard, I'm just saying most of them are just your typical white guy.
Well, it's okay to have a beard if it's reasonable, but if you look like you're ready to join ISIS, fucking get a hold of yourself.
It all looked like lumberjacks except they got skinny arms.
Yeah. Fucking flannel shirts and everything.
Yeah. Me and my flannel shirt here. Whoops.
Oh, yeah, you got to lose that shit, man.
Oh man. Oh.
Right. So Sargon, did he reach out to you or what?
He reached out to me at the time. He wanted to do an interview. I declined at the time because I didn't want the heat, and I was still working at Game Ranks at the time, and I figured, like the site owner didn't want the attention, right? The drama. Told me to keep my head down. I would have done it, but it felt it would have been kind of disingenuous, I think, if I just went straight into the anti-SJW side at the time. I wasn't fully in it. I was still weaning off the whole the fucking Kool-Aid that was in my bloodstream. I had to get rid of it. So it took a while. There were still times when I get outraged or angry about something. I was angry about something.
I guess it takes time for both sides. I mean, it takes time for you to move along and get over it, and it takes time to sort of get the other people to trust you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I guess that's where Lacey is at. So
she's still there right now. Yeah, you can't really expect her to just drop feminism right now.
No, that's going to take time.
Yeah, she's not going to denounce feminism, not immediately. It might take a year.
Oh yeah, that's going to take time. And there's still a lot of people pissed off at her because she did do some
the MCA stuff.
Yeah, really fucked up stuff pretty recently. So there's still some bad feelings there, but I hope that she can decompress and become a positive person.
Yeah, and I think that. Sorry, you go first.
Orphan has a question for you.
What's up?
I don't know if you saw it. The question is, Ian, do you see it?
No, I don't.
Okay. Ian, you notice SJW starting to group Asians with whites.
Oh, yeah. I've noticed that all the time. I like to joke on Twitter. I say that Asians are Schrodinger's POC. We're Schrodinger's people of color.
That's a thing. That's a good description.
Yeah, we're white when they need, they need to blame somebody, and we are people of color. I hate that term because why not? Like, how is it any different from colored people? Honestly,
I know, right?
It's not even grammatically correct.
I grew up with people basically telling me that if you call someone colored, that's just as bad as saying anything. It's
Right.
like on par with saying you're a nigger or something.
Right. Yeah. But it's
How bad it
ridiculous.
was. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, just like 5 years ago,
People of
bam,
color.
people
Yeah.
of color.
Women
Are
of
you
color.
serious, assholes?
Queers of color now. There's a QOC, and like, what the fuck? What are you talking about?
I haven't heard that. I got to look into that.
They make up terms all the fucking time. I mean, not like, take for instance LGBT or LGBTQ, right? Those are the two most common terms.
LGBTQ, LOL, WGF.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like LGBTQQ, LGBTQIA plus. I don't know why there's a plus there. Maybe it's atheism plus. There's BLGT and like.
I know. On. I mean, there's 16 fucking characters in that shit now.
Yeah, it's just like an ever-growing list of things.
Yeah, and even the pedophiles are trying to get in on the action.
BAM is part of, I wrote about how By Any Means Necessary has ties to NAMBLA. Did you know that one?
No.
Oh, yeah. Antifa is tied to NAMBLA. Their organization, back when they were formed in Detroit many, many years ago in the 90s, they supported NAMBLA. There was a parent organization that supports NAMBLA, and NAMBLA supports them. And the same people who ran the parent organization are now leading BAM. So, yeah, they're pedophiles, right? I mean, well, they're not pedophiles, but they support them,
Yeah.
That's part of it.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it's just when you thought that BAM couldn't get any worse.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and Ryan Landis asks, Asians with whites. And also, like, are gay men also in the evil club too? Yeah, they are. Gay men, just regular gay men who are not, LGBTQIA, whatever, they're also in that club of evil people now. Because being a gay white man or gay Asian man is considered a black thing, or even a gay black man. Look at the treatment that Sky Williams got.
Mm-hmm.
He denounced Black Lives Matter. He said it was unproductive, and they went after him. They tore him a new asshole, or tried to, but the guy took it in stride.
Right. No, but that's true. I mean, Jesus Christ, this is people are just tearing each other apart.
Yeah, they are. They're tearing me apart, Lisa.
Oh man, it's fucking LGBT. I mean, when did gay men become
the bad guys?
Yeah, the bad guys. I mean, this is also very recently. Like, they were the people that everyone's fighting for, and it I guess it was like, okay, now you got your rights to marry, so fuck off.
Yeah, pretty much. They're like, oh, what about the trans, not just transgender people? Like, look at Blair White; they treat her like shit, right? It's like, what about the people who identify as bi-gender demiqueer? Like, wait, since when were you guys oppressed? Like, you're just like there's just like 200 of you, and no one cares.
Yeah,
you look like a woman, you talk like a woman, but you use weird pronouns. Okay,
polyamorous ponies. Come on.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Fucking
black conservatives, another group of people who are hated by them.
Oh, that must be horrible.
Yep, that's right.
Black conservatives, gay
liberals
conservatives.
Too. Liberals too. Just regular liberals, like classical liberals and non-progressive liberals are also hated.
That's a shame though, because they really need that.
Oh yeah, but they are so far to the fucking left that they have lost sight of everything. To them, everything is anarchy and revolution, this and revolution that. It's frustrating. Like, this is how they drive people away. And that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. But, they are pulling so many people into their side because they run the colleges, right? They are in all the student unions, all run by them. So that's a problem. So I don't think this culture war is going to end anytime soon because of that.
No, it's everyone's in balls deep right now. So it's obviously going to take a while to get out of that. You got to distangle yourself.
And no one wants to admit that they're wrong, even though doing so would mean that they would be right. That, like Tonkasa likes to say that, if you admit that you're wrong, then you are wrong for 1 second. but then you're right. You're right. But they refuse. They just double down. They pull a Kurt Eichenwald. You want to talk about that? Because that's funny.
All right. Let me just shout out here to Magog, who donated $2. Gay people aren't special anymore to them. Yes, that is true.
That's right.
That's true.
Not oppressed enough. Yeah, even though gay people are still oppressed in the Middle East. They kill people for that.
Yeah, you want to talk about oppression, that's where you find it. Anyway, so, you're going to say?
Kurt Eichenwald, in case you missed it, earlier this week, he's a Newsweek, MSNBC, New York Times writer, columnist, who first came to infamy, I guess you could call it, when he appeared on Tucker Carlson's show.
Okay, now I know who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about, right? The balding dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, he held up a book called Tucker Carlson's Lies, like that, because Tucker was listing off some of the craziest things that he had tweeted out. So yeah, he held up a book and then he started spouting off this crazy nonsense about how he had evidence that Trump had been to a psychiatric hospital, And so Tucker asked him, "Do you have evidence or not? Yes or no? Simple question." And he started holding up that book, refusing to answer. So that was his first, brush with infamy.
Right.
Now on Twitter, he's still going on about that, and someone points out, someone asks, says that you probably never received any, anti-Semitic hate mail or something. So he shows up a piece of evidence, and it's in fairness, it's probably real. But the funny thing is, it's the desktop. He takes a picture of the thing. It's in front of his computer, and his web browser is open. And you zoom in. People zoomed in, and they found a tab that had a link to cartoon porn, Japanese cartoon porn, right? Hentai. And it was a very specific thing. This is not like a Wikipedia article or something. This is a specific thing.
The hardcore stuff.
Yeah, the hardcore stuff. Yeah. People started making fun of him. They were like, "Oh, he's one of us," And the reason why this was a particular issue was because multiple times in the past he had made fun of Kekastanis, he had made fun of Trump supporters or anything, saying that I bet you live in your mom's basement, and you jerk off to cartoon porn. That's the thing that he liked to make fun of people with, and yet here he is, jerking off to cartoon porn at work.
Projection much?
Yeah.
That was his go-to line, right? And that's what he does.
Go-to line. Yeah. And now here's the thing where, it draws with the whole, what Tonka Saw said about admitting that you're wrong. So he could have admitted that he jerks off to cartoon porn and be like, "It's not a big deal, don't kink shame me, And people would have probably dropped it, right? Maybe some people wouldn't have, but most people probably would have. He lied. He said, "Oh, I was watching this porn for my kids, my wife and kids. I was watching it for them." I was gonna, they asked me if tentacle porn was real, and I needed proof, so I was looking up porn for them. I'm like, wait, you're making it worse. It's time to stop.
Fucking hell.
It is time to stop, because that is worse than what you just did. You were watching porn with your kids? Are you for real? You for real right now?
Yeah, you're a fucking idiot. I mean, yeah, sure. I was just watching some porn for my wife so I could tell her about tentacle porn.
Yep.
Yeah. Pull the other one. Yep. Yeah. We believe you. Sure. Yep. All right. So Doubting Tommy says, what are your thoughts on the gay pride parade in DC being protested against?
Who's protesting it?
I don't really know much about that. I guess people have a right to protest, so if you keep it peaceful, I guess I'm all right with that.
But my guess is it's probably Black Lives Matter is trying to protest it. Because
that probably not going to be that peaceful then.
Yeah, because cops are involved in the Pride Parade. So every year, the cops are involved. They have a float there. In New York City, they do that. In Seattle, they do that. So I would assume it's the same thing at DC. And last year in Toronto, Black Lives Matter Toronto got the cops kicked out. They protested it. They hijacked the whole parade, and they basically shouted down to gay people, the gays and lesbians, shouted them down, and they're like, you're supporting white supremacy by, having cops here. And now they're banned from the parades. The cops are not allowed to be there. Yeah.
Man. Okay. Thank you, Bearded Truth. He wants more live streams like this. We will try to oblige. And I'm just going to see here. The big red bear says, I'm actually pretty rad left, but SJW seem to be just a group of irrational, mentally ill people who want to tear down society. That doesn't help. That doesn't help anyone. Yep, that pretty much sums it up. It's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with being left or right. You know, it doesn't matter. We need both. We need two competing sides, because otherwise one is just going to assume that they're always going to have the power. So we need a functioning left to compete. So I'm right very now even it doesn't matter. Even if I was the most right-wing motherfucker on the planet, I'd still want to have a very good left wing to keep the right side honest, or vice versa, right?
Exactly. You can't, if you go too far left, you get Mao Zedong, you know, or you get Adolf Hitler or something, right? You just can't have one side. You have to have competition.
Yeah.
Checks and balances.
It's good to have the other side being good as well. It's good to have them being competent.
Yep. Right now, they're not. You know, they're supporting people like Linda Sarsour, for example.
Oh, fucking hell. I mean, she is... I cannot believe they would support her. It's feminists actually supporting this fuckhead. And she's like, she likes fucking genital mutilation and she hates gays. And where's your fucking so vaunted empathy now, asshole?
She hates Jews. You know, she hates Jews.
Yeah, she
very openly.
Anyone. Yeah. She pretty much hates anyone.
Yeah. And yet people are just willing to put that aside and be like, oh, well, you know, it's just like whatever. And it's like, oh, she's oppressed. Like, nah. Come on. God damn it. Like, what is wrong, people? Like,
I don't get that one. I mean, and atop of all those things, hating everyone, basically, she also likes Sharia law, and she wants that implemented in the United States.
That's right. Yeah, she does. Most Muslims don't even want it, and yet here she is campaigning for the worst thing ever.
I assume that most Muslims left because their country was shit because it was run by Sharia law.
Right. It's taken to too much extremes, and that's the stuff that she's calling for. No, it's not very pleasant.
She wants the stuff from the country they fled from to come here. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, fuck off. It's not even implemented in fucking, you know, a lot of Muslim countries don't even implement it because it's that extreme. They have secular courts, right? Like Turkey doesn't have it, you know, Indonesia, Malaysia, like they'll have it, but it's not really a thing, you know, it doesn't apply to everybody. It's just like half-assed, right? But she wants like full fucking Sharia. Like, okay, it's not right. That's actually terrible.
Yeah, it's obviously never going to happen. So, what are you even advocating for this? We have we have a constitution.
Yeah, it's never gonna fucking happen. Jesus, she's just outed herself as a complete asshole.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if they fucking invade us, they can force us. But good luck with that. Make my day.
She's like the on the opposite side of the coin of like, you know, of like a neo-Nazi, you know, like, because they're advocating for like, you know, genocide or even just like kicking out everyone who's not white or even not pure white or something, right? It's never gonna happen. That's never gonna fucking happen. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with you people?
Yeah, completely unrealistic. Never in a million years.
Outing themselves as assholes.
Yeah.
It's you know, it's funny. It's identity politics on the left, identitarianism on the right, but it's the same thing, you know?
Yeah, it is.
I believe it was Milo Yiannopoulos actually said that, and he's like, you should reject both because it's the same thing, and he was right.
That's true.
People call him a white nationalist, and like, really? Why would a white nationalist say this? And you know, like, he's a gay Jew. Okay, he's a troll, but you know, he ain't no white nationalist. Come on.
No, I mean, he's a provocateur.
Yeah, and the white nationalists, they fucking hate him. They want him dead.
Of course, he's gay.
Yeah, he's gay and he's Jewish.
Right.
He's Catholic.
Oh my God.
Like the multitude of things that they dislike, and he exclusively dates black guys. So,
Oh, there's the
yeah,
holy trifecta.
yeah,
Oh yeah. They certainly don't like him.
no, they do not like
But
him.
but obviously that doesn't matter to the other side. They still see him as a Nazi.
They see C.H. Summers as a Nazi. They protest their speeches. Like, okay, that's kind of
Mm.
weird. Why would you do that? You know, remember Trigglypuff
Mm-hmm.
raising her arms, her fat, flabby arms,
Mm-hmm.
and yelling? I mean, why don't you just like respect a person, let them speak, and then in a question and answer session, ask them a question, ask them why they believe certain things. Don't fucking yell at people when they're speaking. Jesus H. Christ.
Yeah, that's just such a 4-year-old tantrum kind of thing.
Yeah, they even look like 4-year-olds. They got a fucking bun in their hair.
Yeah, and rainbow colors or blue hair, whatever,
Bowl cuts.
pink hair.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the shaved
They
side.
love the bowl cuts. Yeah,
Fuck, I
bowl
hate
cut with a
that.
shaved side. Like, it's one thing to have a mohawk or something. Those are cool, But a bowl cut? Are you serious? What year is this? Is this the school shooter fade that you're going after?
I don't know. I guess they're just in that phase, and they're probably gonna grow out of it and all that. But Jesus, it's
I
annoying.
hope so. Either they grow out of it or they turn into, Eric. What's his name? Eric Clapton. Eric Clanton.
Right,
the bike lock guy.
right.
Turn into one of those. Yeah.
Yeah. But I remember when I just started my channel, I did a video on that girl who did this dye cis scum thingy. I don't know if you remember that.
Scum. I remember Scum. Yeah, she stopped being an SJW, right?
Exactly. So now she's well adjusted and she looks like a normal woman. And
Yep.
wow. So you actually escaped too, huh? Excellent.
Yeah, it can happen. Yeah, it's kind of interesting that the before and after pictures. If you look at the Scum, it's like she's got the black lipstick and a horrible haircut, colored hair, and the weird big problem glasses. Not attractive at all. Just like wants to kill you, and you look at it and like, oh my god, I feel like you're circumcising me twice here. You know?
Yeah. Oh my god! She really managed to make herself unattractive.
Yeah.
With all that shit, and then when you look at her now, she's like, oh wow, she looks like the girl next door.
Yeah, that's right. And then you can go in the opposite direction. You can be the girl next door, and you turn into Moldy Locks and start trying to punch people at rallies.
Well, but she's still young. She'll probably grow out of it too.
I hope so. She's like, the problem with her is that she's gotten a lot of fame for being Moldy Locks,
Mm-hmm.
So she might not. Like, I mean, some people are obviously not gonna. Like, she might. There's hope for her. But some people like that mattress girl. You remember her?
Yeah.
The one who. She is a fraud, right? She was never raped. This is the testimony is this is never raped. She was calling the guy a day after they had sex and they had a relationship and everything, and then like Kathy Young actually wrote a pretty good piece explaining the whole thing. Anyway, she's into like BDSM now, and she's like, this is an art performance, and like, bitch, you just want attention.
Yeah. I saw those pictures. She was hanging off the wall or something.
That's right. Yeah. They've got one leg tied up and this, on a hook or something.
Yeah.
This is all for attention. This is like,
of
Daddy,
course.
please notice me.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. I don't care what people do in their bedroom, but then I mean, there's only 3 things: like you what you do in your bedroom, or you're a fucking porn actress, or you're mattress girl just seeking attention.
Mattress girl. Yeah, the first 2 are fine. Do whatever you want.
I don't care.
Make a career out of it. I don't give a shit. But man, don't. Yeah, this is just shameful. This is just shameful. Like, she's pretending to be an activist. You're not an activist. You're an attention whore. Just admit what you are. Just sort of fucking contagious.
What are you fucking activism? What is your activism for? What?
What are you bringing attention to anyway?
Yeah. Well, what's it for?
What is it for? Who is it for? Jesus. Like, no one finds you attractive. You're crazy.
Are you sponsored by the mattress company? I don't know. I mean, What is she trying to bring attention to?
No idea.
Well,
They had to be tiring though, lugging thing around.
I know what she was trying to bring attention to the first time, her false rape allegations, obviously, but now I don't know. Oh, okay. Magog is back. Funny how Mattress Girl lost weight before that art show. She looked good half naked. Gotta love those.
Beauty
Wait,
standards.
scrolled up.
So gotta love those beauty standards. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, there we go.
No, he's completely right. They talk about fat acceptance, fat positivity, but here she is, losing weight for the photo shoot.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, she looked pretty fucking like a hippo before.
Yep.
Pretty much.
I hate college art. Like it's so meaningless and shit. Like I don't know if you remember this video, but it is on YouTube. It's called Interior Semiotics. Look it up, guys. It's insane.
Okay, what's that?
Basically, a woman starts yelling, and she takes a can of Chef Boyardee and she stuffs it in herself.
What? Yeah. In her pussy?
Yeah, in her pussy.
Yeah, I've heard about that. And then they call it art, huh?
They call it art. Yeah, it's supposed to be meaningful. And everyone in the audience is like, "Is this art?" I don't know. I guess it is because I'm here and I'm a hipster. So, yeah, I guess it's art. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's so bad. And the funniest part is when she tries to open the can, she has the hardest time opening it up because she's weak. Weak.
Oh, that's like the ultimate irony if you would just call a man to help her out there.
Yeah. So that's art, but anytime anti-SJWs produce a piece of art. Oh, here's a good example. This I actually wrote about a couple of days ago. This chick, her name is Maria Popova. She runs this website, this blog called I can't remember the name of the blog, but anyways, she's pretty popular. She's got 740,000 followers on Twitter, right?
Wow.
She went to she was passing by a store, a Breitling watch store. You know who Breitling is, right?
Sure,
I mean, what the company is.
Yeah, and watches.
The aviator watches specifically, right?
Right.
So one of the displays in their store is of a Betty, right? Like she's mounting a bomb, like she's doing the whole Dr. Strangelove, where she's riding the bomb.
What do you mean, like Betty Page? Or?
No, not like Betty Page. Like I'm just calling her Betty because she's like a 1940s pinup.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a pinup. It's like a 3D print. It's a sculpture. It's a pinup girl, riding a torpedo or a bomb, right? And it's falling down. So I mean, you'd expect this kind of thing because you find it on airplane nose art, right? It's from the 1940s. That style, So she tweets it out, and she's like, this is not acceptable. It's 2017. It wouldn't even be acceptable in 1921. And I saw that, and I'm like, hold on a second. And she's like, she continues, I will never shop at your store because of this, And so a lot of people pointed out this is a piece of art. I mean, who are you to judge it? This is very obviously art here. And she's like, oh, it's about as artistic as Donald Trump's Art of the Deal. Like, how did she make it about Trump?
What? Yeah.
I don't.
Oh, you pivoted and made it about Trump. Okay.
Yeah, had to make it about Trump. Trump derangement syndrome, I like to call it. Everything is about Trump these days.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, how did you make that connection? I mean, you got to be pretty sick to see a pinup and think about Trump. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. So for them, she is judging it for not being art. And yet when someone points out that Mattress Girl or that Interior Semiotics lady, if that's not art, oh my God, we are plebs. We are Philistines. How dare you not get that this is art? How dare you get that Gone Home is not a work of art? Video games are art, goddammit, and Call of Duty is shit. Okay, why is one thing art, the other one not?
I just gotta do a shout out here before this message goes away. Or Jesse N says, I hope this SJW fad turns into snap bracelets, Zuba pants, and Reebok pumps. Yep, I hope that too. Let's drink to that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so that was it. I mean, like they decide what artists and no one else can. They're the elite. Like I pointed out a while back again on Twitter. I said that I pointed out how something wasn't art. I can't put my finger on what it was exactly, but I made fun of something. Oh, I remember. It was that painting that sold for like what was it, like $140 million or some shit, or $1 billion, some crazy amount of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was literally just splotches of paint on a half-finished canvas, right? And I'm like, this is not art, it's garbage, And they all just dogpiled me for it. They were like, oh, look at Ian, he's such a pleb. He doesn't get what art is.
Right. So what is art, according to these people?
Art is something that makes you feel emotions or something like that. I have no idea. It's like a human expression.
Why would splotches of paint do that?
I don't know. I mean, postmodernism, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, that's basically it. Everything is fucking postmodern these days, right? Whatever they say is art, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's okay to say that if it produces emotion, it's art, but
you're not even that. Yeah. Now it's just postmodernism.
Why would just fucking paint splotches do that?
Exactly. By that, measure, every YouTube thumbnail could be a work of art.
Yeah, every fucking guy, painter spills his bucket out. That'd be art.
Yeah, and there are actual examples of people making fun of art gallery visitors. Like some guy left his glasses on a floor of an art exhibit, and people all just started taking photos of it. They surrounded it, trying to deduce its meaning of the glasses on the floor. He has his spectacles, right? Yeah, you put them on the floor, and people thought it was art.
Right.
What a joke. Yeah. But you have that $5 there that's about to tick down.
Right. The big red bear. If Trump goes down and Pence does too, something deranged to come out of the Democrat, either Hillary or something worse. They'll fuck Bernie out of it. I guess.
Oh yeah. But even if he goes down, another Republican will take over. This is how it works.
Yeah.
Hillary's never going to be president. She's never, ever going to be president. That's a derangement, that a lot of liberals, or rather, I should say, Democrats have, not liberals, Democrats. Because a lot of liberals.
Here's the thing. Before Hillary, there was no such thing as ever reapplying to be the candidate, right?
No. Right. Yeah. No. But now it's like a thing, apparently. They're trying to make it a thing. She's making a resurgence.
I guess.
Like, are you for reals?
I mean, Jesus Christ, if you lost, you lost. That used to be it. Like, you've shown you're a loser. Now fuck off. And then she came back for a second try. And you're still a loser, asshole. So you're going to try a third time? I don't think so.
She's going to ruin it. She's going to destroy the Democratic Party with what she's doing.
Yeah.
Because no one likes her, first of all. I mean, that's why she had to cheat Bernie out of the vote. Like, more people voted for him, and yet he still lost. How funny! Oh, it's because all her buddies are.
And they're still butthurt that Hillary got more votes. So how does that work?
Yeah. Funny, right? I mean, the hypocrisy, the fucking hypocrisy of it.
Yeah, right.
And
Jesus Christ.
her what? She was running a campaign that she deserved the presidency. You don't deserve the presidency. Nobody does.
Fuck off.
You fucking earn it.
Deserve the presidency. You deserve
turn.
You deserve the presidency when you get the fucking votes. That's when you deserve it.
Yeah. She was like her campaign and her were actually serious about running a slogan being like, it's her turn now.
Yeah. It's not far off though. It's like the slogan was, I'm with her. Okay.
Yeah, I'm with her. Yeah.
What? Really? That's your slogan? That's it?
I'm with her. Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ. That's you're fucked. I mean, you're starting off with that. At least Obama had change,
hope, and change. Yeah, the audacity of hope.
Yeah.
The first term.
Something people would kind of think like, okay, yeah, change would be good. Things suck,
Yep.
so yeah, let's have some change. But
And
I'm with her. Like,
I'm with her.
why?
Yeah.
Why? I'm with the billionaire ex president's wife. What?
Yeah. What? Doesn't make any sense. She was horrible as a Secretary of State. Why would you even be with her?
I don't know. That sentence just sounds wrong to me. Be with
It does.
her.
It sounds,
That sounds sexual.
entitlement.
I don't want to think about any sexual
It's
thing.
it's the entitlement of it, like, oh yeah, if you're not with her, then you're against her. Oh.
Oh, back to the Bush thing, huh?
Yeah.
You're either with us or you're with the terrorists.
Well, at least it's not Jeb. It's just Jeb.
Yeah, because Jeb should rule England.
He's playing the long game. That's what he's
Oh
doing.
yeah. He's going for King of England.
Yep. He's got a long game going.
So
Please
many
clap.
memes. So many memes about that right now.
Please clap.
Yeah. Please clap. Please.
Jeb for world president.
Oh yeah. The president of the New World Order.
I would be so happy, so thrilled if someone wrote a piece of fiction explaining how Jeb would become the leader of the entire planet. Like, just make a scenario. Like, what would need to happen for that to happen?
I'm sure someone could make some fan art about it or fan fiction.
I'm sure it's doable. It'd be a series of books, and it culminates with him becoming president of the world.
Oh yeah, and then those guys from Independence Day invade us.
Yeah, it could be very similar to something like Dune. Paul Atreides is going to become the leader, right? It, like the Messiah or something. But how he becomes one, that's the story, right? Now replace Atreides with Jeb.
Oh fuck! Yeah, that'd be interesting. Like the Chinese proverb, may you live in interesting times.
It's a curse. It's not a proverb. It's a curse.
It's a curse?
It's a curse.
Oh, yeah, that's even better. Yeah. Like, fuck you. May you live in interesting times. Because interesting would be something like a fucking flood or something. That'd be interesting.
A flood, a war, political turmoil. And right now, these are very interesting times. So I feel like someone cursed me in my past life.
Yeah.
Or maybe they gave me a gift because I fucking love this. This is the most interesting timeline, and I wouldn't wish for anything else.
Yeah, at least it's not boring.
Yeah, it's not fucking boring. God damn, I love this place.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so I guess we're getting to the end of your getting out of SJWism. What was left?
I applied to Heatstreet to write for them, and I got it. At first I wrote about the Gamergate stuff, and then it turns out that I could write about more than that stuff. I actually was pretty passionate about all these other subjects, so that's what I've been doing ever since. Getting to know people, making friends.
Did you go straight from the SJW employment to Heatstreet, or?
GameRanks isn't SJW. It's just apolitical.
Oh, okay.
They don't give a shit about anything.
So you had sort of a middle ground there in the middle.
Right, yeah. It was never a political place, Like, I had put some anti-Gamergate articles there. I think some of them still exist. I deleted some of them because they were false or, later proven to be false because I was running on a lot of false info. The SJW is, being one is full of disinformation. These people lie to each other all the fucking time to promote their agendas, So... Mm-hmm. There's a lot of bad stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I got out of that.
So that's pretty much that telephone game we talked about before.
Game of telephone again. Yeah. The journalists play it with each other. They're not particularly reliable and they never make corrections. There are so many articles out right now. You just Google up Gamergate or anything. Like, okay, current example, since Gamergate's old, Google up Lacey Green. Mm-hmm. Like, I guarantee you, 90% of those articles are going to be bullshit. People are lying in them, just outright blatantly lying about her.
I'm sure. Yeah, probably.
Because that's a narrative. And narratives are apparently...
Yeah, I haven't Googled her, but that'd be interesting. It's probably going to be turning up with a lot of like, she's together with that Nazi in the white nationalist shit and blah blah blah.
Yep, and they say these are feminists who are writing these things, and they will say things like, "Oh, she gave up her principles for dick." Like,
Oh
wow.
yeah. I saw her tweeting about that actually. Like the people who are saying that to her are feminists.
Yes.
Like she has no agency.
Yeah, like she's got no agency.
She's just doing it for dick. All
Yeah,
right.
like she's just some dumb, brainless woman. If she were a man, they'd never say that about her. But oh,
Yeah.
God forbid a woman do it.
I don't think the other side, like our side, wouldn't even say that unless it was in gist. Of course, we'd fucking
It's just yeah.
meme the hell out of it, but we would never
Yep.
say that seriously, unironically.
No, but they would. They would.
Yeah.
Like, like sometimes they will say that shit about me. They'll be like, they'll make up lies about me. They'll be like, oh, Ian couldn't get any feminist pussy. That's why he stopped being a feminist. And like, you're projecting here, dude, because I have seen your fucking chat logs that that a girl had shown me. And it actually, like, you were harassing her, dude. Don't project. I'll release this shit, Like all these fucking male feminist allies. Dude, they're in it. They're in it. Oh, sorry. They are in it for like two reasons. Either they are cucks or they are predators, and many of them are predators. Like, oh my god, like they're like I've written multiple articles on these guys, and like Devin Faraci would be a prime example. That fucking guy. He virtue signals hard.
Who was that?
He's a movie reviewer. He runs what's it? Birth Movies Death or something like that. Yeah, Birth Movies Death, I think it's called.
Okay.
And it used to be Badass Digest. Now, this guy came from Chud, right? All these sites. Many of them are scumbags, right? And they all turn into male feminist allies. They're assholes. Now, this particular guy, this was during the grab her by the pussy thing happened, with Trump. And he was ranting about Trump. He was saying, oh, I can't believe a man would say this, And a woman comes out from out of nowhere, a lesbian. She comes out and it's like, hey, Devin, we used to be friends until you sexually assaulted me. That happened.
Karma.
Yep.
I think I've heard about that. Didn't she actually say something like, yeah, actually, you did that to me or something?
Yep, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you did that to me. He actually grabbed her by the pussy. He knew she was a lesbian and she would never date him. But they were at the dance floor, and he fucking sticks his hands down her pants, and grabs her by the pussy.
Oh, the beautiful irony.
Yep.
Oh.
And it's even worse because I think he makes her smell herself, or like he smells it and makes a comment.
Oh,
it's just like kill me now.
He's one of
those guys. Yep, and she isn't the only one. There were other girls who came out and said that he had sexually assaulted them, that one of them was really drunk and he had taken advantage of her. Things like that. And they were all his friends, right? People who used to be his friends who stopped being his friends because he sexually assaulted them.
Right.
So
unbelievable.
There's guys like that. And what's worse is the SJWs stick up for them. Always. They'll be like, well, he may have been a monster, but he apologized and
he's a monster.
At least, yeah, exactly. One person actually wrote that. There was an article defending him, saying that at least he's one of us. At least he has done so much for feminism, and it would be so bad if we like lost him, And like,
right.
Are you for real? This guy's a rapist. You know that, right?
Fuck. All right, so Silverhawk donated here and wants to know, what do you both think of alt-right MGTOW people? You go ahead first.
MGTOWs, they hate women. And when I think of MGTOW, I think of two people. I think of angry MGTOW just yelling incoherently into the microphone, and I think of Matt Forney running away from people. That ball motherfucker. You know who Matt Forney is, right?
The name rings a bell, but I can't picture him.
Okay, so he's got a goatee. He looks like a budget version of Kane, but he's not the other MRA dude, the PUA dude. He's not him. He's not the guy who made the Sarkeesian effect. No, Matt Forney is a fucking idiot. He's a clown. He's chubby. He's got a goatee, and he hates women. Right? And he's banned from Twitter. He can't rant about me right now. He'll probably blog about me now.
Oh, that's good. All publicity is good publicity, I guess.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what that is. But he's also a MGTOW or what?
Matt Forney? Yeah, he's a MGTOW. He hates women.
All right. So and you think about what do you think about the alt-right?
The alt-right is a very nebulous term that's essentially meaningless now. Like it refers to everyone from me. People call me alt-right. I'm not alt-right. You know, I don't identify that label. They call Richard Spencer alt-right, which would be fair because the guy did create the term. But then they also call Milo Yiannopoulos alt-right. They'll call anyone on the right alt-right. Any conservative is an alt-right apparently. So that term doesn't mean anything to me anymore.
Yeah, it's like you say, it's really weird. But if you define it as Richard Spencer, I would say fuck off.
Fuck off. Fuck right off.
It's got nothing to do with me and you're idiots. And MGTOW people, I don't know, fucking go away. That's in your name. Go away.
Men going their own way.
I don't care. Go away.
Fuck off. Stop making videos. Stop yelling into the microphone.
Oh, you can do that, but then you're not really going away, are you?
No, you're not. You're there still.
So I don't really care about those people, but you know, if you don't want to have pussy, then that's a great strategy for you, I guess. So good for you.
Like people like to use the term MRA as a bad term, but you know, I mean, I've hung out with MRAs. I've been on their streams, right? The honey badgers, and like half of them are women. You know, they're all right. You know, they got a point. What's wrong with having men's rights? You know, like I'm not an MRA, but I'm like, I mean, if you're gonna have women's rights, then why not men's rights? You know, men kind of suffer in the legal department. You know, like men do have it bad in terms of child custody. You know, it's backed against them.
Of course,
that's a legitimate issue. Men also have the highest suicide rates. You know, women have they don't, you know, but men actually go through with it. They kill themselves. That's horrible. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, pretty much all those statistics. Yeah. The highest death on the job, highest death in combat, the earliest death in life. They have 20% of the custodies.
That's right.
And so obviously there's the only legal disparity that we have is between men and women to women's advantage. So good job, feminism, and you're pushing for more rights for women. So
good job.
That's why we're a little bit pissed.
Yeah. They wanted equality, but what they actually want is supremacy. You know, there's a reason people call them
nobody had a problem with equality. Everyone realizes that we have to treat people equally. Everyone has to have the same rights under the law. That's right. That's the way it is. I mean, can you just imagine if you were some person and the law told you like, nope, you're a second-class citizen. Fuck off. You're going to have to work in the coal mine. That's it. Just because you're some trait, you know, because you're male or you're black or whatever. So everyone can understand that if that happened to you, you'd be devastated and pissed and all that stuff. So we can't have that. But they want more. They got that, and now they want more.
They invent problems. They create straw man, and they're like, oh, white male supremacy, you know, the patriarchy, blah blah blah, and men have these advantages, and none of that is real. You know, like some of it's real maybe, but it's always got that little grain of truth. So that when you point out all the bullshit, they still got that. Well, this is real, so therefore all of it's real. You know, and like no, it's just such a bad argument. You know, and people need to stop falling for it.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that society can really do is make sure the laws are equal.
That's right.
And I don't really believe in societies that try to push ideologies on their people, right? That should be the other way around. We should sort of push ideology onto our government.
Yeah.
So if
it shouldn't be the other way around.
Yeah.
Institutions shouldn't be pushing ideologies onto us. That's fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, if people decide that, we actually want to have mothers stay at home, that's up to them.
It's up to them. Yeah. It's all about individual rights. That's my position on pretty much anything.
Yeah, because that's basically where this sort of earnings gap comes from, because a lot of women figure that, well, I actually value my kids more than having a title on my business card. So, yeah, I'm going to do that. And that's where the earnings gap come from.
Yeah. Men and women are paid the same amount for the same job. If they put in the equal amount of hours and they're equally qualified, there's no disparity. And in a lot of cases,
it's illegal.
It's illegal to have a disparity. And in a lot of cases, women are paid more than men because of some of the jobs that they get. In other cases, men are paid more because of the jobs that they get. Again, but it's not based on their gender. It's just it's just kind of how it is. Like, men will take a job at a workplace, right? Like a work site, and they'll do the dangerous job. They'll carry a sledgehammer or jackhammer or whatever. Jobs that women won't do, and they'll get paid a lot for it. Whereas if a woman gets a job there, she might be a secretary. So yeah, of course she's going to get less, but it's because of the job. Yeah. It's a danger that you put in.
It's basically two components. It's either it's dangerous or it requires a lot of education.
That's right. Yeah.
And, if women insist on getting fucking gender studies degrees, then you're fucked.
Shit. Yeah. Same with the men who get it. What's a man going to do with gender studies?
Of course. Same thing, obviously. It just seems like there's a lot of women doing it right now, but obviously there are some men doing it too, and they're just as fucked.
They're just as fucked. Majority of them are fucked. Some of them will go down the academic path where they will make a lot of money, but it's very few of them. There's very few positions with those. Because guess what? Most people don't give a shit about gender studies.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many teachers. And really, do teachers really make that much, though? I'm not sure.
College professors do. Yeah, they make 100K. Like the diversity officer at, I believe it's...
they do?
They do. Yeah, they make quite a decent sum. Yeah. Like I think it was either UC Berkeley or UCLA, the diversity officer makes $100,000.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah.
$100,000 for just doing nothing, basically.
Doing nothing. I know. Yeah. Right.
Sweet gig, man.
Oh, yeah. It's a nice scam.
Holy shit. 100K.
Yep.
Yeah, but obviously that's, they probably have like 50 spots in the country, one for each state or something. So yeah, good luck with that.
Yep.
You're actually educating hundreds of thousands of people in this. So they have two options. They can become those, what was it called? Gender officer?
Oh yeah, social justice advocate.
Right, whatever. They can become that.
They have different terms for those, yeah. Many.
Or they can become what Lacey Green used to be. Those are the choices with your degree.
Yeah, or they can become baristas, which is the thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course. McDonald's always hiring.
Oh, yeah. And
Starbucks, obviously.
I think the biggest point of evidence against this whole thing, against what am I talking about? The biggest point of evidence or contention against the whole gender gap is if there was an actual gender gap and that women were paid more, wouldn't all men lose their jobs?
Of course. I mean, that's the best argument there is. I mean, if I was a CEO and I could get women for 75% of the salary, of course I'd hire only women. I don't care as long as they make the fucking thing they're supposed to make. You're supposed to make a fucking iPhone or a screwdriver or whatever. If you can get it done, and you can get it done for 75% of the price, you're hired.
Yeah, you're hired. Why the fuck would anyone hire a man if that were the case?
Nope. Yeah. Obviously, corporations care about profit. That's it.
Yeah. And it's funny when corporations sort of virtue signal with the gender pay gap thing, because someone asked, like, I think it was Audi, right? They were like, oh, the gender pay gap is real. So somebody asked them, do you pay your employees unevenly? And they were like, oh, no, of course not. And people like, what about the women? The fact that they make less at your company, and they're like, oh well, they put in less time. That's why we pay them less. No shit.
Mm-hmm.
No
Doesn't that
shit.
tell you anything, assholes?
Yeah, they work less time. Obviously, they're gonna get paid less. Jesus Christ.
It's not rocket science.
No, it's not rocket science. Stop with the fucking virtue signaling and being all gender pay gap this and gender pay gap that, and now there's all these different types of gaps that they come up with. Many different gaps. There's the culture gap. There's the ability gap. There's all these fucking things. They're all like all little tiny things that people get.
I really hate when corporations do that. I don't trust them. I just want them to be fucking money grubbing corporations, because then I know what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't try to be fucking political entities. Just fuck right off. Just be money grubbing fucking corporations, and we'll all be fine. We can just buy your shit if you make good shit, and if you make bad shit, we won't. Simple.
Be Nestle, because they are money grubbing and they're proud of it.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
they're complete assholes. And they're like,
that's fine. Just make something I want to buy. That's all I ask. I don't.
You're not being forced to buy their stuff. So
exactly, I can use I can use my dollars to vote, and I don't get shit shoved down my throat.
That's right. It's a free market.
I just saw that with Apple the other day. They were fucking virtue signaling the shit out of everything.
So fucking hard.
Like,
I know.
Jesus Christ, just do your fucking phones.
I know, and Vamp Candy pointed out that, for this company saying that they're all about humans and people, blah blah blah. Why is it that their factories in fucking China need suicide nets? Mm-hmm. What a nice place, and they were forced to put it there. The suicide nets, because the government would force them to do it because so many people were killing themselves at the place, jumping off the buildings.
Exactly. Yeah. That's such a nice company right there.
Good job, Apple. Good job.
But yeah, I don't want people. I mean, I don't want companies to try to force me into ideologies and stuff. Just be a company. No. Just be fucking ruthless tycoons like you used to be.
I can get a company trying to sell itself based on that ideology. Like the United Colors of Benetton, right? Those guys are all about diversity. Sexual and racial diversity. They've always been about it. They were the first to promote LGBTQ stuff. But, that's a brand, and that's fine. Right? Just like vegan brands that promote animal rights, right? That's okay. You're not being forced to buy it. But it really skeeves me when like a big company is like, you got to sign our treaty agreeing to this, agreeing to fight white supremacy in order to buy our stuff.
And
otherwise, fuck off.
We can't forget that Benetton didn't do this now. They did this 20 years ago.
That's right. Yeah, they did.
It wasn't like there was it wasn't like there was this bandwagon back then.
No, they were the only ones. Yeah, they were the only ones.
Yeah. That's so right. Okay, that's their brand. That's their image. Every company has an image. Yep. I guess Coca-Cola's got the good life and all that. And this was their brand, so fine, whatever.
Yep.
I can give them a pass for that, obviously.
But I won't forgive Pepsi for doing that whole.
No, that's bandwagoning. That's some bandwagoning.
That's some bullshit right there.
Oh yeah. That's just okay. Now we've had our focus group, and obviously we invited the wrong people to the focus group. So now we're gonna make a social justice video.
The game developers of this indie title called 2064, they bandwagon pretty hard. And one of the things that they tweeted out on their social media was, if you voted for Trump, you can fuck off. Don't buy our game.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean when I wish companies would just be companies.
Yeah.
Why would you alienate your fucking customers? For what?
For what? For nothing. And afterwards, they I think they got like 2 negative reviews or something. They were like, the alt-right is bombarding us with negative reviews. Oh my god. Well, maybe you shouldn't attack people. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
Jesus. Just maybe don't be political. Just sell your fucking product and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's what I want a company to do. Just make good products and spend your money on making even better products.
That's right. Serve the customer. Don't serve yourselves.
Yeah. Well, the weird
Not
thing
like
is
that.
that they're trying to serve their marketing needs, I think. That's what
Mhm.
I think they're doing, but they're not. They're just
No.
alienating customers and burning money.
It even backfires on the people they're aiming to serve, because people get turned off by it. People
Yeah.
don't want to hear it. They don't like the virtue signaling. They think it's pandering. They feel like they're being pandered to, and they feel disrespected.
Exactly,
And
because that's not what I want to hear from a company who's trying to sell me something. I want to hear about why would I buy your product? What's so good about it? Tell me about your fucking product. If you're not telling me about your product, I'm going to get suspicious. I'm going
That's
to
right.
start thinking maybe you're trying to, misdirect here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Why are you not talking about your product? Is it shit?
is it shit? Yeah, exactly. Is it shit? Why are you trying to sell me on your politics? I don't care about your politics. I care about your product. The same thing actually happened with Mass Effect Andromeda. Like before it came out, they were all like, "I'm with her," and like, Commander Shepard is with her. And like, wait a second, I don't what? No way, no, just fuck off.
I didn't see that. Did they actually do that?
Not the official account, but the developers did.
Okay.
Developers did. The makers, Casey Hudson was on Twitter virtue signaling for talking about fighting white supremacy and all that shit.
How about fighting something real? How about fighting poverty? How about that?
Seriously, fight something real.
Yeah.
Fight the acidification of the oceans of the red algae. Do something about that.
Yeah. White supremacy? Like
meaningless. Absolutely fucking meaningless.
Yeah, we dealt with that.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. That's history. But that's the thing. Yeah. That's the thing with a lot of these groups. They dwell so much on the past.
They do. Completely.
It's like,
but not the right parts.
No. I mean, if you fix something, so everything's perfect, whatever it is, they're still going to go back. Yeah, but there were these 200 years before when things weren't perfect.
Reparations.
So that means that we should have it better now than you.
Yeah. Revenge, right? That's what it is.
Yeah, revenge.
And yeah, Plank is right. I do need chapstick. Look at my fucking lips, all fucked up here. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I need to do something about that before my next stream, because this is just too much.
Get lipstick.
This is just, yeah. I'll get something. It's a fucking mess. My mouth is a mess here. Bad. It even hurts. I don't know why he was looking at my lips, but okay. So
I guess he was turned on.
There's a weird meme going on in the SJW community where they just take a picture of my lips and they talk about it the whole time, and like, you guys are a bit obsessed here, aren't you?
What? Why is that a meme?
I don't know, dude. They're not funny. Like that's the problem with SJWs. It's just not funny. Look at the memes that we make here, in the anti side. And they're fucking funny as hell because they insult people, they mock people, or they are just genuinely funny. We're not politically correct, right? But when you're drinking the Kool-Aid, your brain is hamstrung by your lack of creativity. You're afraid to be creative. It affects every aspect of your life. You become pathetic, right? You're tied down creatively.
Yeah, if you constantly have to worry about what you're saying, that'd be horrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would stifle everything.
Yeah, it made me self-conscious about my lips. God damn it.
Yeah, well, the chat got to you.
Nah, no biggie. No, but seriously, it really does affect every aspect of your life, because you're always looking to be offended by something, and at the same time, you're always watching what you say. You can't make a problematic joke. You can't insult somebody because it might hurt their feelings, and it's like there's nothing that you can do that isn't being, governed by some fucking taskmaster in your brain, just cracking a whip or something, restraining you from doing certain things. Otherwise, he's gonna whip you. It's insane. It's just living like that is not a good way to live, and that's why when you see people like Lacey, they come out, they'll be like, "I don't give any more fucks." Time to pop out the bubbly.
Right. But didn't you have a tweet about that, or was that straight from Lacey's page?
That was straight. It was, I retweeted her. Yeah.
She said I'm thinking about another tweet. She said something about no. Okay, I'm mixing it up. It's that other tranny girl who's hating on her so much.
Riley Dennis, no, you're talking about Zinnia Jones, right?
Exactly. She's that tranny, and she's like, she's talking about Chris Reagan and Lacey, and she's like, fuck their feelings.
Yeah, fuck their feelings. We gotta find a way to sabotage our relationship.
Fuck. She actually said that in a tweet. Fuck their feelings.
Fuck their feelings. Yeah, fuck their feelings. And I'm not quoting her verbatim here, but she did say something about how we need to drive this to a breaking point. Essentially, what she wants to break up their relationship, right? She wants to sabotage it. That's how I interpret it, and I think that's how everybody who saw it interpreted it. And she's now mad at me for interpreting it that way, but she won't give me the proper clarification for what she actually meant. So I'm pretty sure I'm spot on here. That is what she meant. Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I think she said something like, in the words of the anti-SJWs before that. Remember that?
Yeah.
So she's like, because obviously we say, fuck your feelings. I don't care if your feelings are hurt. Are you hurt? Yeah. Or did you break your arm? Then I'll care. Okay, fine. If your feelings are hurt, fuck you. That I get that. But I the hypocrisy of just hating on that kind of thing, and then as soon as it's convenient, just turning around and adopting it.
Doing it. Yep. Exactly.
What the fuck?
I know. It's like, one rule for me, one rule for you, It doubles standards. Daka just sent you some money.
All right, Daka. Let's see here. We live in the timeline where Lacey Green blasts Steve Shives on Twitter. What a time we live in. Exactly. It is the best of timelines.
It's the best. It's the most interesting timeline.
Oh yeah. It is. It's priceless. It really is. Right.
Where Ryan Landis asked me, he says, will Anita Sarkeesian eventually get attacked and kicked out? No, she's too entrenched in this whole thing, and she's making a series of anti-Trump videos. So no, she's here to stay. But I do see some SJWs kind of calling her out because they're kind of fed up of her. But I think that's only because they want her seat, But she's not going to be dethroned, They're just going to make another smaller seat for them.
Right. Yeah.
I don't see her leaving. She's just too entrenched.
Yeah, exactly. She's not going to get like overthrown, but obviously there's always going to be infighting and people vying for the position. And
they've always eaten themselves. Yeah, just like Shanley was a thing once upon a time. People used to follow her. She had like 17,000 followers, but she's nuts, right? She talked about daddy appropriation, how when girls call their boyfriends daddy or something, it's cultural appropriation of like the queer community or some shit. What? And like, and it was at that point where she lost all her credibility. I never thought she had any credibility in the first place, but for some reason a lot of people did. But as soon as she did that and a bunch of other weird outbursts, people just stopped paying attention to her because she would, she used to be able to sick mobs on people, right? This Shanley Kane person, just at Shanley, she would tweet at somebody and, a whole gang of people would just mob them. But she acts so entitled when she tells people to do it now. Nobody does it because they don't like her. They've realized who she is.
Right. Well, I mean, pretty much. If you utter the words cultural appropriation, you're just disqualified. That's it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck is that?
It's insane. And Orphan X asks Ian, he just donated $2 to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he says, Ian, what's if Comedy Central going full SJW? Well, I think their writers are all SJWs. Many of them are. I know some of them. It's just what's going on. It's the Kool-Aid. It's spreading to Comedy Central.
Especially in the media industry, obviously.
The media industry is it's a very big thing. If you're not an SJW or at least somewhat progressive, you're not in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even. I can only count 2 people who are not SJWs if we were talking about actors, right? And that's James Woods and
Adam Baldwin.
Adam Baldwin, exactly. There we go. Those are
There's
the
a
only
third
2.
one. It's actually it's
Who's that?
Actually there's multiple. I've written about these guys. Hold on, let's see.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
This guy, you got to follow him. Mark Pellegrino. He's on Supernatural. He plays Lucifer. He plays devil himself. He was on Lost.
Mm-hmm.
He's on multiple TV shows.
Okay, he's the guy that actually plays the devil on the show Lucifer.
No, not Lucifer. Supernatural. He's on Supernatural. Okay. He plays a character, Lucifer, right?
Okay.
He's literally Satan. But the guy he's not on the right. I mean, he's not conservative like James Woods or Adam Baldwin are, but he is centrist. He is very much like you can watch his interview with Dave Rubin. He actually talked to him. He's basically a classical liberal, and he's been calling out SJWs ever since. Yep, he's one of them. He's a good guy. There are others. There's this Asian actor. He's a Hong Kong actor. He used to, Daniel Wu, right? He is on a TV show, Into the Badlands. I think that's an FX show, and it's a martial arts series. And he has called out cultural appropriation as being a bunch of bullshit.
Right.
He literally calls it bullshit. Yeah. So yeah, they do exist. They just don't speak up in general because they know it'll hurt their careers.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's true.
AMC, yeah.
Magog is back with $2 here. He says, "Why no wizards in media? I feel marginalized." Yep, you are, dude.
Yeah.
So sorry about that.
Mark Wahlberg is also not an SJW.
Oh, he isn't?
No, he's not. Absolutely not.
Fuck. Oh my God, he must. Wow.
Yeah. Neither is what's his face? Mel Gibson, obviously. Vince Vaughn. Yeah, Vince Vaughn. Mm-hmm. They're not SJWs. They're like anti-SJW, if anything.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah. There's a lot of these talented actors and actresses who just not part of it.
Yeah, that's good.
Tim Allen.
I haven't. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Seinfeld, Jerry Seinfeld. He hates SJWs. Right. He's a liberal, but he fucking hates them. Nick Searcy.
I gotta follow more actors because fuck.
Oh yeah.
Just James Woods and Adam Baldwin. Mm-hmm. That's all I've been able to figure out.
John Voight. He's also not an SJW. There's also a few British actors who are not SJWs. They hate SJWs. Like the whole Oscar's not black or something. Oscar's so white. Yeah, Oscar's so white. Or the hashtag Oscar's so white. They spoke out against them. There are many actors who do that. Yeah.
No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I remember just a couple hours ago, someone said as a comment on my video that they love the fact that I have Dr. House on there, but unfortunately he's a regressive cuck or something.
Someone keeps spamming The Rock. Yeah, The Rock is not an SJW. That's right.
Yeah, right.
Kelsey Grammer.
I don't know if House is fucking regressive or not, but he Dr. House is still the greatest. So fuck off. Dr.
House is amazing.
He's just the dude. That's the way
The
it
dude,
is.
yeah. Yeah.
And obviously, most actors are regressives. We can't just
Many are. Yeah, many are.
if we wouldn't use anything from actors that were regressives, we would be very bored.
Yeah, I watch them not for their politics, but for their talent. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't care about their politics. I mean, yeah, it's kind of irritating to see some SJW on TV or something like David Harbour, the guy from Stranger Things.
Mhm.
Huge SJW, right? He was at the Golden Globes being like, punch all Nazis. Seriously.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's just.
I wish they would stop advocating violence.
I wish I would too, but you know, I'll still watch Stranger Things season 2. I didn't really like the first one, but it was entertaining. It was okay, and he's a decent enough actor that I don't care. You know, just as long as they keep that shit out of the script, you know, then I'm fine.
Yeah, sure. I enjoyed the first season.
Yeah, Ashley Judd is very much an SJW. Graham Mickelson. I'm sorry to say that. She is.
Who?
Ashley Judd.
Oh yeah. She's had all those fucking TED Talks and everything.
I fucking hate those TED Talks. I got so mad when she was like, speaking in Italian for just that one word, saying "stop it." Basta, as the Italians say. Okay, yeah, nice. Yeah, great. You speak Italian. Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah, I guess actors, you know.
Mm-hmm.
When a great writer puts words into their mouth, that's awesome. But when they write for themselves, just shut up.
Just shut up, yeah.
Thanks, Bill68, for the $2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was cringeworthy.
Who's Sam Witwer?
Those talks she had on TED Talk.
Oh yeah, absolutely cringeworthy. Who's Sam Witwer? His name sounds familiar.
Who's what?
Sam Witwer.
I don't know.
Don't know who that is.
Okay, Bill's back here with another $5 for. He wants to know Mark Wahlberg called out Tom Cruise for saying his movie is too similar to Soldiers. Okay.
Really? Okay.
I don't know.
I don't quite understand that. Me neither. This is the first time I'm seeing that. Yeah.
Well,
Taylor Swift is not an SJW.
It's always good to call out Tom Cruise, though, right? I mean.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the guy's a Scientologist. You got to call him out.
Exactly. Right.
Someone is like, didn't Ian used to be an SJW? Well,
Hello.
yeah. I mean, that's what
Hello.
about. Look at the title of the stream.
Yeah, that's why we're discussing this shit. Because Ian actually escaped.
Yeah. I don't think he's paying attention to the title of the stream. I mean, oh my God, it's there. I don't mean to make fun of him, but my God, it's there.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what to put, so I figured SJWism could be a new word or something.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
I mean, what did you guys call it when you're in there? Obviously, you hear a lot about that you don't like the term SJ.
So
I mean, a social
they embrace
justice
it.
warrior.
Oh, they embrace it. They
do now. They do now.
Oh,
okay.
They've always kind of embraced it. Yeah, they'll either call themselves feminists or SJWs, unironically, or progressives. You know, those are the terms that they use. Or they might identify by they call themselves the left, or like communists or Marxists or something. It's all kind of the same thing. They run in the same circles. Yeah.
Right. But I mean, there's a huge difference between leftists and just fucking communist.
Because the left can encompass everything from social. Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
Champagne socialists.
Technically,
champagne socialists, like fucking, the what's his face, Jeremy Corbyn is a champagne socialist, to hardcore, Stalinists, right? The tankies. But that's the left. That is the left. Bengal Backer asks me, when you were in SJW, you really knew you were full of shit, right? No, at the time I didn't. If I think of it right now, I feel like a fraud. But at the time, I actually believed that shit. It's very hard to put myself in that mindset again. I explained this earlier. But yeah, just to reiterate, no, I didn't think I was full of shit. I actually believe what I said. That's a fucked up thing about being a member of a cult. So you drink the Kool-Aid, you actually believe their stuff, and then when you stop, when you get all of it out of your system, you feel like, what the fuck was wrong with me? Did I actually believe that? And you feel like such a fake, you know? You really do.
That's kind of like leaving religion, I guess.
It is, yeah. Because people who believe that stuff truly believe it until they don't, at which point they feel like frauds. You know, it's hard to deal with.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, that's what Lacey Green tweeted out like yesterday. Like, I feel like I'm leaving Mormonism all over again or something.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
That's
Someone asks, how many Antifa people do you think are SJWs? All of them.
Sorry, what was that?
Someone asks, how many people in Antifa do you think are SJWs?
Oh, yeah.
All of them. Every single one of them. Yeah.
Of course. Every single one of them.
All of them. All of them. In Europe and in the few Asian countries where they do exist. I don't know why they would exist there. And of course in the US, no, they're all SJWs. They're leftists, hardcore.
Yeah.
They're basically the violent SJWs, as this guy says. The CD.
Kind of like their SS or something.
Essentially, yeah. Ooh, we got money.
Raven Chad, $25 with no message. Okay. You were certainly entitled to a message, but I thank you very much for your contribution. Appreciate it. Where were we?
Oh wow, yeah. You're saying about Lacey Green leaving.
Yeah, because she used to be a Mormon, right? So she said leaving this stuff felt like leaving Mormonism all over again.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting that she even got into it, because she was a Mormon and she knew what the cult was like, And yet, like I was never religious as a child or anything, so becoming an SJW, that was like a new thing,
Mm-hmm. No, I wasn't religious either when I was a kid, or ever.
Yeah, I've never been religious. Yeah.
But I guess a lot of people grow up that way. That's not uncommon. That's probably the majority of people.
Yep, that's right. And SJWs, many of them, the ones who are not, virtue signaling for whatever, they actually believe their stuff. They think they're, it all starts with some mild thing, where they see some inequality and they want to make things right, or they read the dictionary definition of feminism, one they love to cite. But if you were to cite racism from the dictionary, they'll be like, "Oh, it's written by a white man."
Yeah, that's true. I mean, every time the thing is, the dictionary definition keeps changing.
Yeah.
Right?
It does. Yeah. Yeah, it does. It does.
When I started making videos, the dictionary definition said, the whole thing, equality and socioeconomically, blah, blah, politically, I can't remember it right now, but towards women. And now it says towards all sexes. So, okay, you're changing it as you go. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah. And if it's, this is such a semantic issue, but why is it called feminism if it's supposed to be for all sexes?
Yeah. I mean, it's not just about that. It's also the thing that it's now acquired such a bad rep that you should change it either way. But obviously, you should have changed when you started to say that it's for equality for everyone. Mm-hmm. But now that it's just sort of universally hated, that's the time when you rebrand. Every company knows that.
And yet feminism still holds some like some liberal virtue. Like everybody, they're like, I'm a feminist, or my company is feminist. Like, maybe stop using that term that way. I mean, it stopped being feminist a long time ago in the original definition. Now it's all about hatred and demonizing people, and just it's all groupthink now. Yeah,
it's kind of become just a thing to make a career out of, I guess. Professional Professional feminists.
Yep, they're
Doubt,
professional feminists. Yep.
Doubting Tommy wants to know, Ian, what helped you red pill?
I'd say friends. My best friend.
Yeah, I guess we went over that.
We already gone over that. Yeah. So all he has to do is watch the past 2 hours, and he'll get it. It's actually in the early part of the stream.
Yeah, it was. But basically, the short version was that your friends told you that you're an idiot. Fucking get a hold of yourself.
My couple of close friends, not like the so-called the so-called friends I had in the SJW circle, because the instant I bailed, they stopped being my friends. Imagine that. They were friends of convenience, and that's what Lacey's going through right now. All the people that she thought were her friends, they're not. They're not. They're abandoning her.
No.
Left and right.
Yeah.
Yep. They don't care about her. They don't like her.
No, she was just a fucking huge thing they could hold on to. 1.5 million subscribers.
Yeah.
Everything.
That's all they wanted. Yeah. Now she's a big target to them because she's the biggest, feminist on YouTube. So they're going to go after her because they want to take her down. They hate her now. I can completely relate. I don't have half her followers, but man, people go after me because they see me growing, I know that there's that common thing about haters gonna hate or whatever. No, people, the bigger you grow and the more people will fucking dislike you if they feel like that they don't like your ideology or your political views or anything. It's a complete opposition to theirs. They'll want to take you down, especially when you are one of them,
Oh yeah. I mean, I remember when I had a small YouTube channel, I never used to get any dislikes ever. Just didn't happen. And now I have a whole bunch of people subscribing to me for the sole reason of disliking my videos.
Wow. That is weird.
I don't know who coined that term, but maybe it was Sargon or someone that said, like, you'll get this swarm of gnats around you. It's like they can't hurt you or threaten you, but they can, just be irritating in your ear and press the dislike button.
Yeah. That's what they do to me. I mean, like every time I tweet something, it gets like 1,000 retweets or something, right? That's kind of like what I get usually. But I guarantee it, like one of these fucking gnats will quote tweet it, and then suddenly you have 15 of them in there in the comment section, probably arguing with the people who are agreeing with me. Like that's what they like to do, And it's just all random shit.
I mean, I don't want to ban them or anything. I mean, I don't have a single person banned. Not one.
I had to ban a few people yesterday.
I mean, I guess if there's someone who's just won't quit, or if they're like psychotic or stalkerish, that's
spamming.
Or spamming, obviously. Then there's no choice. But I've fortunately not had that happen to me yet. So. Sure, if you just want to come up and call me an asshole, that's fine. I don't care. Do that. That's still a hit for me. So Ryan, Rainmaker sent $2. Thank you for that.
Oh, nice. Ryan Landis asks, have any of the white male SJWs ever offered their jobs to women or minorities? Or do they want other white guys to lose their jobs? Well, it's the latter. They'll never give up their jobs.
Good question, though.
Yeah, it's a good question. But no, they don't give themselves up. No, they love their jobs. They love making money. They just want to virtue signal. That's how you know they're virtue signaling. They will never give up their jobs to a woman or a minority or anyone else. They expect other people to do it.
Yeah. It's like, wow, just give up your seat, dude. Put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah. Lawrence Smith asks, who did you contact first when you made your break? Actually, people contacted me before I made my break. Liz Finnegan was one of the few people who reached out before that happened. She is a writer at The Escapist. Was pretty big in Gamergate. Yeah. Several others as well. Just, people like Mombot, for example. She's cool. Mombot is this older Japanese woman, a middle-aged Japanese woman who tweets about video games. And the SJWs try to dox her all the time because apparently doxing her is cool. It's fine to do it to other people. Yeah.
No, it's not.
No, it isn't. absolutely isn't. Scumbags.
Yeah, yeah. That's so. I'm. Obviously there's scumbags on both sides, but
Mhm.
when I hear your story, I still feel pride for us.
Oh,
I
that's
feel
good.
proud of us for being able to just forgive and just accept that. Okay, someone
Yeah,
figured out that. Yeah,
we're
I want
human.
to. I want to change my life. I want to
Yeah.
go this way now.
Yep. The city asks, "What's my opinion on Cassie J, MRAs, and MG Toes?" Oh, I actually talked about this earlier, but my opinion on MRAs is that, long story short, since we don't want to go over it over and over again,
Mhm.
MRAs have a point. The law is very much against them. Against men in terms of like child custody hearings. And MG Toes, they should just go away.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're not the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what your name says. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
Make like your name and go away.
Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah. Why call yourself one? Seriously.
Right. Yeah. Do we have any more topics?
Probably not for now. A bit exhausted here. To throw this
Right.
parch, but I think we should do this. I know, like, do it often. I'm sure we'll have more topics to talk about.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I will say that it's been a lot of fun calling out the people I used to work with or try to be friends with when they were, shitting on me. Like, these people are stuck up assholes. That's the thing about SJWs is when they're in the media, they're just complete dicks. If they got a high position, they won't respect you or anything if you're beneath them. But it's fun calling them out now because they're full of shit. And I'm finally so fucking happy that I can call them out without being, ostracized for it. Because if Polygon writes some bullshit, I want to call it out. And
right. Right.
for example, since we're talking about this before we go,
Hmm.
Polygon wrote this article today to talk about Madden NFL 18, and they said that this guy's playing a fictional black quarterback, and he said that he wants the company who makes it, like EA and stuff, to address the fact that black people have it really hard in the NFL. And
What?
yeah, I'm looking at that. I'm like, wait a sec. You mean the same NFL that has 70% black players?
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
and and black males are only 6% of the United States population? You mean that NFL?
Hmm.
Okay. All right, yeah, that makes sense. All right, sure. All right. Yeah.
Did you take your meds today?
Seriously. So I'm writing about that right now. And I mean, you guys got a teaser of what I'm going to write about. Yeah. But I'm writing
Right.
about that after the
Right.
stream
Right.
ends. Yeah. Write
Yeah.
about that one.
Make sure you go and add Heatstreet to your bookmarks now.
Oh, yeah. You should. It's an awesome site.
Can you actually subscribe to you
newsletter?
on Heatstreet or what?
There is, yeah, like if you go to my YouTube profile, youtube.com, Ian Miles Cheong. But anyway, you can click on, I don't know if you can subscribe to me per se. You can subscribe to a newsletter, which sends you a daily thing.
Mhm.
But if you click on my username on the site, you'll find all the articles I've ever written. Like in any article that I'm on, you can just click on my name and you'll see all my pieces. So I don't know if there's an RSS feed for that though, but you can subscribe to a newsletter. And I do tweet out all my articles. So feel free to follow me on Twitter. I like to talk to people.
Right, right. And you're one of those rare individuals who have your messages open.
Yes, I do. I like it open. The only people I block are a couple of gnats who wouldn't stop replying to my followers.
Right.
Like they will spoil the discussion. So I had to block them, not because they were pissing me off, but I think they were annoying other people, and I don't like that.
And I obviously, being a journalist, it's important for you to actually have people come to you with anonymous tips and shit. So that's exactly a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. So it's very useful. And journalists who block people, like there's some journalists who just block everybody. Well, you shouldn't be a journalist if you're doing that. You're not interested in the news. You're just writing fucking bullshit at that point, you know?
Oh yeah, I mean, Jesus, it seems to me like there are journalists who are actually subscribing to the same block bot as Steve Shives.
Mm-hmm. Oh, many of them, yes.
Yeah, it's like
that's
Jesus Christ.
That's the block bot that Randy Harper made. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And how you're supposed to get your scoops?
Exactly. You can't. They're not interested in them. They just want to promote a narrative.
Yeah, I guess.
Desadia asks, what's the creepiest DMs you got? Probably from SJWs. Like, just like sending, I don't know, weird pictures and stuff. Yeah. And nonstop, you know, just telling me how they wanna kill me or something. That was pretty creepy. I know they don't mean it. Some of them don't mean it, but it's hard to tell, you know. So I just block them like that. It's just I'm not putting up with that shit. I don't ever respond to it. It's not worth my time.
Yeah, especially if you have your tweets open. I mean, that's gonna be fucked up.
It's poison. Yeah, I mean, you got to keep that, like, because you get so many, you got to learn how to filter these things out. And I do my best to filter them out. And generally just don't get to me. I'll just look at something they send me and I'll just giggle, you know, just like, what an idiot. You actually, like, there are people who tweet about me like 8 hours a day, like a full-time job for them. Right. It's like their loss, you know, like they could be doing something else, but hey, they want to hate on me? Be my guest, you know. I'm doing other shit. I'm writing a piece. I'm hanging out with you on YouTube. I'm playing a video game. I'm reading a book. Not reading all their stupid shit. Like, I mean,
yeah, it's fucked up how they get so obsessed. Like,
and they think they're
whatever.
Yeah, they think they're getting to you too because they'll get like, oh look, I get 100 retweets of this. So it's just the same 100 people who always retweet your shit. No one cares. It's just 100 obsessed people. Like, you're nobodies. Who gives a shit?
Don't care.
Yeah. And now they're all going after Lacey. Isn't that interesting? The same people who went after me or go after me are all targeting Lacey. It's like they are gnats looking for, the next piece of meat to go after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the way it's the outrage machine.
That's the outrage machine. Always grinding their gears.
Yeah.
Texas, yeah.
All right, so I guess we'll end this for now.
Yeah, and, for now, we'll definitely do this soon. All right.
Yep. We will. We'll pick it up again, and we'll try to assemble some other interesting topics and do it again.
Absolutely.
All right. So thank you very much, chat, for your participation and your generous donations. I appreciate it very much. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.